Hello, and welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. Oh, so big white screen behind me. All right, so yeah, I was just out in it this morning. It's really hot and miserable, and I think there's a typhoon coming our way that's gonna not quite hit the main island, but it looks like it's gonna run through China, so they don't need any more problems with the flooding they've been getting. So expect more bad news from Asia. So I hope everyone is doing well. I think I've got everything set up. Sorry, I just wolfed down a spicy pastrami salad right before I went live. So I apologize if I either have anything in my teeth or I'm going to be belching the whole time. But yeah, so yeah, kind of getting used to the new normal. A lot of work from home. I have kind of given up the idea of streaming from the office, even though there's much more access to convenience stores and interesting things, and bizarre traffic and everything out the window. There's nothing really going on here. But yeah, but it's quiet, and now I'm all set up, so it's going to be hard to switch back because I don't think I have quite everything. I definitely don't have the green screen at the office, so yeah, we'll see. And with this heat, I definitely don't miss the train. Maybe once things cool down, it'll be fun to go out more often when the when the pandemic increases and everyone gets more. The whatever next round of it happens during the new flu season. So I guess I should start trying to draw something. Alright, yeah, I don't quite have this at the angle. But, yeah, so hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, I'm a bit later than usual because I was out in the morning. But I got back as soon as possible. And of course, this will live on in the archives. Which, because of the weird timing, I think a lot more people watch this delayed than live because, yeah, the time just doesn't work out well. But yeah, and if I could be more of a crazy night owl, it might work a little bit better. But just can't. Whoa, with all the other stuff going on, yeah, it makes it very difficult. So, yeah, not everything is staying about the same. I guess the Japanese Prime Minister was in the hospital only for a health check only. But the thing about that, the times that we're in right now, nobody wants to hear anybody going to the hospital. And previously, he was prime minister. Abe was prime minister earlier in the 2000s when Japan kind of had a new prime minister once a year, and he stepped down very quickly for health reasons. So to hear him, dealing with hospitals or anything makes people, worry that that's happening again. Or of course they worry about the bad weather. Reasons for any leader, because they still have to perform a lot of public duties with as much protection as they can have, masks and things, but still probably more high risk than a lot of people have to be. So yeah, that was a little bit concerning, but the PR immediately was that it was just a health check and nothing to be alarmed about. But we'll see. Western media is trying to make it a little bit bigger deal. We'll see what happens. But this would be a terrible time to switch switch ships, change boats, whatever the expression is, in the middle of in the middle of so much bad weather. It would be terrible for that reason to have to change leadership. So we'll see. I don't know what that is, but yeah, and kids are back in school now. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in September in the U.S. with the diverse opinions about what kids should be doing. And in Japan, I think they just said that children 5 and under don't need masks. Pretty much now in Japan, it's standard for everyone to be wearing masks. So even kids at school sitting at their desks are all wearing masks with little plastic dividers and everything. It's got to be like working in a casual OR for a lot of these kids. But they said kids 5 and under don't need masks, and maybe they're also worried about the summer heat and everything, and kids getting heat stroke or a little bit overwhelmed from having this kind of heat and no air conditioning and wearing a face mask. All right. But yeah, so let's see. Yeah, I finished the voiceover for the next part of that Mutant Chronicles thing that I was working on. So it's the 4th part. So one more part, and it will be an hour. It'll be an hour of video of me talking about, or not me, but my voiceover over some produced video of lore about that game. So yeah, so part 5, because they're about 12 minutes a piece, so part 5 would mean 60 minutes. So yeah, 4 is coming this week, so yeah, that's going a little bit big. So we'll see. Yeah, those are really fun to produce. I guess I'm just really heavy-handed today. Yeah, line with the pressure. The pressure sensitivity is working, but my hand isn't. Yeah, but that's fun to work on. It's kind of a neglected pop culture, or like, gaming lore. So it's fun. Yeah, I was surprised they did do. There's a Super Nintendo game based on that setting, and I think because they were doing at the time, they were doing a collectible card game as well. So there's a. There we go. Yeah, there's a setting. Or there's just a side scroller, like a side scrolling shooter, based on that in that world. Because it's similar to Warhammer 40k with the Space Marines. So there's Doom Troopers in Mutant Chronicles, but they're basically the same type of thing. Super soldiers fighting a demonic incursion into the solar system. But yeah, so that's fun. So this was the kind of Space Vatican is the episode that I just finished. So of course, when you have demons and threat in your diesel punk, you have to have some religious organization, or you have to have some component. And because the human settlements, or the human human outposts are corporate based, there's no religion, so they had to add like a separate religious component. So yeah, so like something like 40k, the religion is kind of built in to the emperor, and that they don't have that same sort of thing, so it has to be this external thing, which kind of works because then there's a nice tension between corporate interests and hidden agendas of the Space Vatican, but then also the interest of protecting humanity. So we'll see. Yeah, and hopefully I get to use more artwork. See, the earlier stuff that I've been doing, there is not much art for it, so I've been using kind of generic like planets and galaxies and things in the visuals. So hopefully I get to use more art specific to the settings soon. Oh, all right. Oh, so maybe, yeah. Pills in the pill boxes. Is this all medication? But yeah, so that's fun. That's the last thing that I've been working on. And we were doing, I'm just talking all role-playing stuff, last Friday, maybe Friday night. Yeah, we did a game of kind of sci-fi Top Gun, where we're all fighter pilots in a sci-fi setting. So I guess we're going to continue that. That was supposed to be just kind of a one-shot to try the system and the setting. But yeah, it looks like it shall go on. So we'll see. And I'm a defector. There's kind of an opposing faction, which is kind of, a mindless. Yeah, I can't think of it, but it's called like the Dominion Unity or something. So obviously a mindless collective, I guess, like maybe Borg-like or something, whatever. But yeah, so I'm a defector from that, and I haven't quite figured out what that means or how I should play that. I don't want to be too disruptive, so I don't know if I should play former Soviet style or what, like kind of what the intentions. I think that's kind of what the intentions are, because if you're talking Top Gun, then it's going to be, Russia is your competition. So we'll see. We'll see what. Then I can do Yakov Smirnov the whole time. That won't get too annoying. There we go. We've already got medication. All right. Oh, and Dolly is, I think, set up in her new place. She seems to be. I got to see a little video. It looks amazing. Makes me miss non-Japanese things very much. But I think she's set up, so we might work on the next story, which I, of course, just figured out after I goofed around, or after I struggled to figure out how to play that, and just ended up posting a link to an MP3 file. I forgot in OBS I can just put a media file in. I don't know if I can do it while I'm streaming, but you can just throw an MP3 file into OBS, because that's what the loop music at the beginning is. So I could just have thrown that in and not had any control over it. Just as soon as I switched over, it would start playing, and I'd have to monitor it. I mean, it's not ideal, but it probably would have been better than the other things I was trying to do, which was like capture a window of the audio player. But yeah, no perfect solutions for that. But yeah, I just couldn't get the desktop audio to cooperate, which is weird because I've done that a lot. I guess it needs a source before it's going to let you select it. Okay, this is not right. I don't know what this is. I'm trying to do like a Pepto bottle. Those are like 3-sided though. Yeah, I think those are like, they're something strange. No, not 3-sided, but their shape is really odd. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it from memory. The pink stuff. Let's see if there's something else. But yeah, so that's about it. I'm surprised it feels like I'm getting less and less done during the week. And I don't know if it's just I'm expecting to be more productive, or it's also that I kind of lost all, after the lockdown time, I lost all sense of, you know, what to get done in a day, and everything became working from home. So I don't, quite know what to expect of myself as far as like productivity from home, because there's so many more interruptions, and yeah, it's just weird. And I basically spent the whole time in this particular room at home just kind of convalescing, or not, but just kind of quarantining, and so it's not a place I associate with getting a lot done. Just kind of staring at the wall and watching The Wire basically is what I did for most of the time. But yeah, so it's a little bit hard to get back on track and have a good sense. I just feel like I'm not ever doing enough in a day, and I don't know. We'll see if I can ever kind of get back to that level where, okay, that was a productive day. That was good. Yeah, I wonder if anybody else is kind of feeling like that, if you're trying to get back to normal and kind of producing, being as productive as you were, if it's weird now. I think especially with a lot of people that are working from home and they're dealing with the same kind of office bullshit, except it's on video conferences. They're having meetings and stuff. I wonder if companies are seeing kind of a big shift. Hey, Hypnotic, how's it going? Yeah, so that's been weird. It's been weird to feel productive again. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I did watch a lot of catch up on a lot of television. Is that keying out? Oh, it does key out. Yeah, that's actually blue, but I guess it catches enough in that green spectrum. All right. Good. Yeah, it's really hot here. I was out all morning and in it, and they cut down all the trees around here, so there's no shade. You're basically walking just through sun-blasted cement for a while. But yeah, it's okay. Hope it's going well for you, and yeah, things are not too weird. It's just talking about trying to find the new normal and find, especially working from home, finding a way that that feels satisfying or like you're getting anything done. And that was the thing that always is difficult, is separating your kind of work life and private life. If it's sharing the same room or the same house or whatever, I can't feel like I can ever turn it off. So it's very difficult. Yeah, I can imagine Texas, hot and humid. Yeah, but it's nice though. Must get at least a cool down at night. Oh no, if it's humid, no, you don't. Yeah, the humidity is what holds that all in. Yeah, here, because of the humidity, yeah, there's almost no change. It's a little less brutal with no sun, but it's just as muggy at night, which was Southern California was a huge difference because it's a desert. It would just kind of shift like 20 degrees between day and night, so you could actually come out at night even if the days were blistering. But the humidity is what does it. And that was the thing that I was always shocked by in because Las Vegas is the high desert, so Las Vegas at night, so the heat's coming from above you from the sun all day, and then at night it's coming from the asphalt. It's just like everything you're walking on is just radiating heat from under you, so it just holds all that heat from the day. So it feels really bizarre. You'd think it would cool down faster, but I guess it just doesn't. It takes longer. But there were some brutal nights there. I guess if you go into the desert in the summer, you're crazy anyhow. Uh, oh, that's good. Yeah, that makes a big difference. At least you can cool down or open a window or at least be outside for a little bit with the humidity here. And then the mosquitoes. I guess because we didn't have a real hard winter, we've got a big, wet, mosquito-filled summer. So, the mosquitoes have been pretty brutal. And for some reason, in Japan, they seem bigger and slower. They're very easy to kill, but there's a lot of them. And the poison that the Japanese mosquitoes, or whatever that is that they inject to kind of their anesthesia, the chemical that kind of numbs you up or whatever, so they can drink your blood. It's a little more irritating, and I don't know if it's irritating to me not being from Asia or if it's just generally a little bit more irritating. But the mosquito bites and the swelling you get is more considerably more, and it's more painful. Yeah, I just noticed that I could get bitten by a mosquito as a kid, or like in the U.S. growing up, and you just wake up with it. But here, if you get bit by a mosquito at night, it wakes you up. It's painful enough to wake you up. So I guess whatever the chemical is doesn't work very well. But the bites are kind of painful. Oh, that's good. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's the best. Yeah, being up at night and being able to enjoy the cooler weather. Yeah, just dark and cool. Yeah, I've been. I know that I'm non-creatively more productive in the morning. Like if you're working an office job or just production stuff or whatever, you get up early and you get so much done because your brain isn't even in full gear. Yeah, you're just like you mindlessly can plow through tasks much faster. But yeah, creatively it's always at night, like writing at night and drawing at night, and everything seems to work better just kind of mentally. So yeah, that's a difficult thing to balance because sometimes when I've been up late working on something and then have to be up early in the morning, yeah, you feel the kind of conflict. It distracts you. You're just worried about it. With school's back in session. This week was the first week back, so they had like a little 2-week summer vacation because of all the time off. So my kid's back in school, and so that means I'm up and driving early in the morning. So I got to be careful not to be too crazy at night. Oh wow, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some people, and I guess they said that like if you've got a higher body temperature, like I think that's what they're detecting. That's what they're going after is body temperature. So warmer people or people that are more whatever, they just have a naturally higher body temperature, are much more noticed. Yeah, Yeah, but they're definitely different here. There's something odd. It's a different different breed of mosquito. But yeah, they're very because it's just so wet and there's a lot of sitting water in places and little bamboo thickets and things. You get a lot of mosquitoes. So some people even sleep under. You don't have to do that here as you would in like other parts of Southeast Asia, like more jungle-y parts. But some people sleep with mosquito netting around them, just to not have to use any sprays or they make an incense. There's a mosquito coil, which is like just a coiled incense that is made from chrysanthemums or something. It's made from some kind of flower, and it keeps them away if you burn it. But that can be it's smoke though, so it can be a little irritating to some people. But yeah, I've seen people sleeping in mosquito nets and then all kinds of incense and then sprays. There's all kinds of aerosol sprays for bugs here. And for every kind of bug, you can literally get like centipedes and bees and wasps and ants, and they have so many. And the roach spray, the cockroaches are a big thing here too, and they have flying cockroaches. So that's always a so right now, hey Sedona. Oh, sage, yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah, that makes sense. Burning sage would keep mosquitoes away. Yeah, I guess it's just over the counter medication. I don't know what this is. This bottle is not doing what I need it to do. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. Something taken with a glass of water. But oh yeah, so the cockroaches here are pretty aggressive. They do that thing like swallows or swallows. The bird that like flies it directly at you to distract you from its nest. The cockroaches here are very aggressive. They fly. They're pretty big and they go right at you. Like they are if they're flying, they like go right to your face. So a lot of people have a phobia of cockroaches. But they have a spray here that's like a freezing spray. It's got a chemical so maybe they can bring the temperature of the spray down or whatever. So it's supposed to kind of freeze them and paralyze them. But I guess you shouldn't. And I'm not sure if this is true of all cockroaches, but you shouldn't crush them. Like you shouldn't just smash them, because that releases more eggs. I guess their eggs are they carry them in their bodies. So you're not supposed to smash them. So there's all kinds of weird sprays in Japan to freeze them and paralyze them and whatever. And they're all very oily. So yeah, it's pretty nasty. There's like places you just don't want to use anything like that. But yeah, cockroaches are pretty different here too. Very aggressive style. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh yeah. Hey Ben. Yes, that was trying to be Pepto-Bismol. I'm trying to get that shape down. That has a very unique shape that I'm not being able to recall from memory. It's a little more squat and a little more rounded. How's it going, Ben? Oh, but yeah. So cockroaches are a different experience here too. I didn't have. Yeah, I don't remember roaches. I just remember ants and wasps and stuff growing up. But yeah, here it's roaches and centipedes. They've got wonderful centipedes here too. That those kind of Asian-y centipedes with the yellowish legs, and they have those long kind of things on the front. And it's funny because when you catch one or try to kill one, they freak out. It's like a bad it's like something from The Thing or whatever bad alien movie where they just start thrashing dramatically. They're very dramatic insects, so they start thrashing like crazy. And yeah, my older daughter had some bad experiences when she was young of them, because they'll just crawl across the room. If they get into the house, they'll just crawl across the room, and they just crawl on you. And they've got like an irritating chemical. I guess they can sting, but they have like an irritating chemical also in their little feelers. And so she was like itching and like, what's wrong, and then found a big centipede crawling on her. Which is funny that because when she was a little kid, she was fearless with insects. So it's funny that, yeah, she kind of aged out of that, because I don't think she's afraid of anything, but still kind of like got skeeved out by having something like that crawling on her. But I still remember taking her to like the Natural History Museum. They had some bug expo there, and the one of the booths had a bucket of those big black millipedes. Those, like, they look, kind of like pill bugs or whatever, but they're black, and they're, like really really dark, and really long, with millions of legs, so kind of fuzzy, but also the reticulated looking things. A bucket of them, and they're just all kind of milling around, as she put her hand right in it and picked one up when she was like 5 years old or whatever. And but yeah, that didn't last. That fearlessness didn't last. Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, older, kind of, yeah, messier houses, and the older your houses are in Japan too, the more they're infiltrated as soon as they find other ways in. Because it seems like roaches can just crawl through, like, something you could slide a piece of paper through, a roach could get through. They're so amazingly aggressive getting it through windows and things. Yeah, yeah, and this is the time, it's kind of peak. They're all fully grown and out, and looking for food or dates or whatever roaches do. But yeah, I think it's the flying thing that freaks my wife out. She's got probably basically a phobia of cockroaches, but I think it's because of all the childhood flying in your face experiences she had growing up. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's hot. Mm. Nice. That's excellent. Yeah, yeah, that's funny. Kids are great because you just don't have enough experience or enough to be afraid. Yeah, I guess roaches. Yeah, roaches in Texas. Do they have big roaches in Texas? I would imagine. Yeah, I don't remember seeing, and roaches didn't come inside. I remember. I just remember seeing them in like wood piles and stuff. If you had like a fireplace and you had a pile of wood outside, you'd see, like, wood roaches or whatever outside. But I don't remember a lot inside. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I can imagine. Yes, everything's big in Texas, including the roaches. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, they're not abnormally huge in Japan. They can get pretty big, but they do fly. That's the weird part, because and but not well, not well, just enough to kind of like how chickens fly, just enough to get in your face, or kind of get to a wall or something they can climb on. Ah, yeah, that's gotta be it's gotta be crazy. And aren't there also? I think that's like in Asia somewhere. There's like roaches, like screaming roaches, or roaches that like make a huge amount of noise. Kind of like a cicada or whatever, to attract each other. But that has to be a big, loud insect. Has to be wonderful. Yeah, let me try this Pepto bottle again. It's much more squat, but not crazy, and it's got like everything is rounded in that weird Pepto way. Maybe like a three-quarter view would make it make more sense. Uh, yeah, I remember my weirdest little kid memory of insects was sitting watching TV and felt like something in my hand. And for some reason, I just immediately associated, because as a kid, you'd always like collect like dandelions and things, and like pull them apart and do stuff with, like, just because our crappy lawn was always full of dandelions. So I felt something in my hand, and I instantly thought it was an like a that kind of unbloomed bud of a dandelion, like a closed dandelion, because it had that fleshiness to it. And so I was watching TV. I didn't even look down, and I just like started pulling it apart. And I looked down in my hands, and then I felt it was wet. It's like, that's pretty weird, because usually plants don't feel that wet when you pull them apart. And it just pulled this spider apart, this pretty big spider, like in my hand. I had just like pulled it apart like I thought it was like a little piece of plant or grass or something. I looked down and freaked out that I had done it without even thinking about it. But that poor spider, he didn't even know what hit him. Yeah, that was I blame television. But yeah, completely distracted, not even paying attention. Like, oh, I must be holding a plant of some kind, and I just started pulling it apart. Okay, so there's a little rim on the bottle. I don't know if this is looking any better. This is looking like, I don't know, but I might have to. This is closer, I think. And then do this. See me? I don't know. I feel like it should be chunkier. Oh, cool. Oh, Table Store. Yeah. I checked those guys out. They're really good. I'm surprised, and I think it was yeah, the one that I caught. I thought they were doing Forbidden Lands, the system, and there's some really good like character performances. I think one of the players was a professional voice actor, but some really good character performances from that. Yeah, I want to see horror. I've been thinking a lot about doing horror games in a horror setting, and that was the thing when we played Alien. That was the thing that was difficult, because if you tell somebody, okay, we're playing Alien the game, and so they're like, oh, okay, well, I know we're gonna find an alien, and I know what it can do, and I know why it's scary. So it's difficult to kind of create tension and things when people's expectations, when people have such exact expectations of what they're going to find. So I think the game gives you a variety, not in the little starter version we were playing, but the game gives you a bit of a variety, so people can encounter strange flora and fauna and things, and not everything is a xenomorph. But yeah, there's something weird about that when people go into a game expecting, oh, we're playing horror. The horror setting, you need to do something to kind of to be able to surprise them. Yeah, that's a difficult thing. And also the group that I play with mostly makes a lot of jokes, so that instantly gets the atmosphere gets broken. It's not a very, because I heard somebody do an actual play of that Alien game, and they slowly crawled the rooms of this ship, and the way the guy was like just very low key describing everything, there was a lot of tension there. So I think that that worked pretty well. Like the tone was good, and very tense. And yeah, when I ran it, I couldn't I couldn't maintain that. Oh wow, yeah. Well, I was surprised. Yeah, that was well done. I liked their yeah, I liked what they were doing with Forbidden Lands. I ran just one session of that before, but I like that system. I'd like to do that before. Oh, cool. Oh, I'll check out. Yeah, I'll check out Nocturne. Cool. Yeah. That'd be a good. I think that'd be a good way to. I haven't done that before. I've mostly read systems and settings, but I think it would be good to not know a game. It might be ruined depending on how the actual play is, but to not know a game and watch an actual play to get an experience. And of course, it'll be like one group and one person's version of that setting. But I've never done that before. I've seen it played first before I read it. That might be a good thing to do, because there's a few games and a few systems that I'm curious about, but yeah, I haven't read, and so maybe watching an actual play might work. But it depends though, because I think there's a kind of a couple of schools of thinking for doing actual plays where you have the mechanics up front and the roles and everything up front. And then there's ones where you kind of put that in the background, or just kind of roll behind screens and just kind of focus on the narrative. So it's the storytelling and the performance of the players, and not, you did 18 points of damage kind of conversation. yeah, during the game. So and more, some systems are better at doing that than others. But yeah, yeah. So I think if you want to know the system rules up front, mechanics up front help a lot. But if you're just curious about the setting, then hearing players move through and experience that setting, I think would be good too. So yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, but they do a good job, and it's really really well produced. And I like that the level of everybody's mics and camera and everything are uniform. I think that's great for AP groups, because we've only done it where everyone's physically at the same table, but just the few things that we've tried to record remotely, there's just such a huge range of the quality of everybody's gear or how they're set up at home or where they are, that it's a little bit distracting. So if everyone's mics aren't the same or their cameras are a little soft focus or weird, it feels a little odd. So I guess you have to yeah, you gotta get everybody's technology up to the same level so it has a nice uniform look, which wouldn't be too bad. It's not too expensive. I think everybody could pretty much be at the same quality without a huge investment. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. Yeah, I like that. I subscribe to that channel. I like that. I like what they're doing a lot. There's a lot of I've mostly listened to previously. I've mostly listened to audio only, like podcast actual plays. And there's some good stuff. Sweden Rolls is really good. I really like that guy. And there's one that I think. Oh, I can't. I'm not. I'm gonna not remember the exact name, so it'll just be confusing because there's so much out there. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. All right. Maybe one more box of something. Nice. Yeah, the sweltering summer, so I guess everybody is getting some miserable weather now. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, with like working from home. Well, I know that California likes or Southern California likes their rolling blackouts. So everybody working at home, I can't even imagine that. It's like you have to deal with rolling blackouts while you're paying for air conditioning and electricity to run your home office. It just, yeah. Okay, what's going on here? Yeah, none of that sounds any fun. And that's the thing, though, if they're favoring, which I'm sure they are, if they're going to favor certain neighborhoods and things, so I'm sure everybody that's a Google employee or whatever near the Bay Area, they're not going to have their power messed with at all. I mean, if that is the case, that would be disgusting, because technology is already creating such a caste system. But that would be disgusting. That if that's actually a thing, and we'll never know. Okay, that's not what I was hoping for. I don't know what's going on there. But oh, cool. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Nice work. Yeah, that's when I was in LA. That was my last 2 years, and Los Angeles was a dream because I was working at home and not sitting in that traffic. That was the worst part of being in that area. But yeah, so that was really nice. But the thing that I noticed with working from home, kind of pre-pandemic, is if there's people in office and out of office, if the whole department's not remote, or there's a weird mixture, there's weird politics and stuff that goes on, because it was for Fox Interactive, and so I was doing like web animations, and there were people that were in office and they had their little clique, and we had a lot of meetings together, and you would just be missing information and things that they you know shared with each other. And then when they killed the whole thing, I was the last one to know. All the remote people, were the last to know, and everybody that was in office found other positions, in the company or in extended whatever, and we were just cut off. And they did a horrible thing, which I don't know if I guess I can talk about, because I took the money and didn't sue them, so I don't think I'm under any sort of conditions. But they made us, they gave us a little tiny severance, and said, we know what we may have done is something you may be able to sue us for, but if you sign this and take the severance, you can't sue us. So it was like one of those things where if you wanted that cushion between the end of this job and looking for another job, you took the money, and if you didn't, then you had the option to sue them for wrongful termination, because they without any warning just killed the whole department. But it's pretty big company, so I don't think suing Fox would have been the best move. Hey, what's going on here? Would have helped my future at all. But yeah, I remember that being very suspicious. But it might be more standard than I know. But that was the first time I'd seen it. Hey Joe, how's it going? That's cool. Yeah, Hypnotic, that's cool that you can do stuff at home. Yeah, I'm starting to get used to the idea. But still, this room being the lockdown room, or kind of where I was trying to get stuff done during lockdown, I'm still not treating it seriously as a workspace. There's still too much goofy stuff in here. So I don't know, as far as whether I want to keep the office space or not. Cool, okay. All right. Hypnotic. Yeah, that's right. I got you up late. Yeah, but it's 3:30 here. But yeah, so this has got to be, I think we're over the counter, basically. All right. Yeah, something about over-the-counter medication, basically. But I'm not sure where it's going. I might get a little writer's block and make your evening a little too late there. All right. But but thanks for coming on, and it's good to see you online. It's funny they are doing the Comic-Con online thing, so they're previewing all the superhero movies and stuff. But it's weird. It's just so hard to get excited about anything when it's all coming in 2021 question mark. Yeah, when it's all nebulous and we don't know what things are going to be like. Movie theaters are open here now because the summer movie season, there we go, summer movie season here is big in a different way. There's certain franchises like Pokemon and Doraemon, and it used to be Yokai Watch. I'm not sure if that's still as popular as it was, but the kids stuff, that they produce an annual summer movie, and they're not good. Some of them are better than others, but so some people just have that tradition of they see every Pokemon, every Doraemon, every annual movie that's part of their summer holiday or whatever. But because the summer holiday was kind of truncated and theaters just recently opened, I don't know how that worked, but I think they were trying to preserve as much of that as possible. Because those films are probably in production. They must start, at the previous summer. I'm sure the production starts for those things. But oh yeah, the Snyder Cut trailer. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Hypnotic. Yes. The joke is from the last time. Yeah, so I copy paste, because if I don't, I'll screw up the how the text is. I want the text to kind of hit every cartoon at the same time, or in the same place. So if you flip through them, it's not kind of jumping around. So yeah, sorry about that. So I usually write pretty pretty much the last thing is the writing. So I might wear you out, Hypnotic. I'll probably color and do everything before I write the cartoon. So this is from last this is from the last one. So it totally makes no sense. It's a probably total non sequitur as opposed to the image itself. Yeah, that was candle, the candle and the pillow from last week. But yeah, the Snyder Cut trailer. I'm very interested in that coming out and doing well, because the story of why that movie was screwed up is so disgusting. It was like, higher ups at Warner Brothers were leaving, and they wanted their bonuses, and they weren't going to get their bonuses if this movie wasn't released at this certain time. They could have delayed it, or they could have, they needed more time, and they forced the production and forced the release just to get their, multi-million bonuses to then leave. So it was a very kind of scorched earth kind of thing. So they ruined that film for not any really good reason. It seemed very suspicious. The motivations for why that got thrown together, and why they did all the weird reshooting and stuff. I mean, just the fact that they did that weird CGI on Henry Cavill's lip said that there must be something weird going on, because that's the most bizarre choice possible for solving the mustache debate. But yeah, that was just really weird. And so I hope this comes out, and I hope people are enjoy it, because it should have never happened. Like, that movie shouldn't have been released in that weird state. And yeah, I don't know. It'll be funny though, because people are saying yeah, sorry, yeah, this completely insane text at the bottom. Yeah, people were saying that, the kind of DC is floundering and not doing well, and it will be funny if them releasing this like 4-hour version of Justice League, the Snyder Cut, will get people excited about those characters again, and get people interested in seeing more of those movies, because I think they were kind of putting it to rest. They were kind of, rethinking how they're going to do things, and kind of trying to reintroduce those characters and things. But yeah, it's a really weird, that whole situation sounds very suspicious and very weird. And I guess it's just, the new ownership. So whoever bought Viacom, or whoever bought, has control of DC now. And there's also the HBO Max. So they wanted exclusive content for HBO Max, and they had the Snyder Cut. They had access to that. So that's a very interesting kind of, set of events that worked well together. Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, I was surprised the negative, and I guess because they're doing it internet only, like people aren't seeing this in a theater with a bunch of people cheering, and then saying, "Wow, that's cool. I'm excited about that." They're watching on the internet very, with their internet critics' eye, and because I think the Batman trailer kind of got people were bitching about the eye makeup on Bruce Wayne or whatever on Batman. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what the tone is like. Because I didn't like the Man of Steel movie, and I didn't like Batman versus Superman. So I don't think it will convince me that it's a much better version. But I'm really curious to see like what they had and what they kind of threw away for that weird Joss Whedon version that they kind of half-assed out. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, I wonder. But I think a lot. I mean, hate is so much more viral, or clickbaity or whatever on the internet. So yeah, people just finding stuff to hate on when stuff is only released on the internet. I think that's got to be a little bit of a problem, because it made me interested. It made me curious to see, so it definitely worked as a trailer to get me interested in what that could possibly be. And the same with the Batman movie. Can't believe, what's his face? The Australian actor, or is he? No, he's not Australian. He's Irish. Playing the Penguin. Is he Irish? The guy, I'm totally blanking on his name, but the guy that is playing the Penguin doesn't look like that actor at all. And yeah, so that was really amazing. So it made me curious, and but they said it's only what 25% of that of the Batman is filmed, so there's still so much more that they haven't even done yet. Which is, I wonder if that's a little dangerous, putting out a trailer with stuff that you've done with, of course, the option to reshoot that and then hearing public response. I don't think that's good for filmmaking. Yeah, Hypnotic, I agree. I hope that works out, and I hope it makes an interesting. I mean, I would love if they released it in Japan in the 4-hour version. I would much prefer to go see it in the theater for 4 hours, because I saw the Justice League, like in the IMAX 3D in Japan, and it wasn't amazing, but it was fine. And anything in 3D is just like, that was fine. I mean, it doesn't change your world, but it was like, yeah, that was okay. And I'm curious, what the original vision and the original color grading and everything would be like. I think that'd be much more pleasant. Nice. Colin, yeah, Colin Farrell. Thank you, Joe. Jesus, I'm the worst with names. Yeah, Colin Farrell looks completely different as the Penguin. He looks crazy. Like I think you can only recognize like his eyebrows and a little bit of his eye shape. He's got such a different face now. Robert Pattinson will do art house porn. All right, he's a decent actor. I think he was. I think doing Twilight was a little bit of a mistake for. I mean, it established him. It made his name, but I think it was a little bit of a mistake, because I think he's a much more serious and talented actor than that material made everybody believe. Because I've seen him in a few roles, like The Lighthouse and the Metropolis. What's that? He's the one where he's like basically riding in the back of a limousine the whole movie. Like I forget who that is. Is that yeah? But I've seen him in some good stuff that I wouldn't have watched anything that he was the lead in just because of the Twilight movies. It just didn't I wasn't interested. But on a plane, I think I saw the one where he's in the limo, and his performance was amazing. He's just playing some like rich kid riding around the city, and people just jump into the limousine, and the performance is great. Did you really? I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I'm having a lot of trouble getting into any of the YA adapted movies, anything, because it's just my age, it's my generation. Because I didn't like. I'm gonna get so many unsubs right now from saying this, but I did not like Harry Potter anything at all. I never could get into it, and that was kind of the beginning. Like that was the first like, oh my god, the young adult market is so huge, and then Hollywood just chased as much of those properties as possible. But yeah. mm. Yeah, I mean I think it's definitely. I don't know. Twilight is funny because it had a huge effect on a lot of stuff. I mean, there are so many teenage vampire werewolf role playing games and young adult series and TV series and stuff because of Twilight. I mean, that just like struck on some kind of nerve. Like there was some kind of something that worked really well as far as the teenagers and being monsters. I mean, I think that spawned a lot of imagination with a lot of people. But not my generation. I think there were younger, younger, slightly younger people that resonated more with. And but yeah, Twilight I couldn't get into at all, because I think it was so female centric. I mean, I think you're so in the whole thing is happening with the and I guess it changed a little bit, but from what it seemed, from the little bit that I know of the story and everything, the kind of no agency girl just being in a tug of war between a vampire boyfriend and a werewolf boyfriend, and just that's not that interesting for me at this stage in life. But it definitely, that the idea that teenagers as monsters thing really resonated, because there's so many shows and things set like that. Yeah, I can't new Avatar movies, that's right. Yeah, yeah. So I think it's just the generation that causes my Harry Potter disinterest. I don't know. Hey, Foggy, how's it going? Uh, but yeah, yeah. I'm curious what they're gonna do because I wonder. The world didn't seem huge, like the universe that they had set up already. It was pretty small. It was just people versus blue people. What was the? I can't think of the name of anything when the camera is on. The Navi, just people, humans and Navi, and I'm curious if they're going to like expand that world out or like what other combinations of things because if they're gonna have to get away from I think that Native American metaphor thing is if they want to make that play out anymore because yeah, I don't know. I'm curious what this because I don't know anything about the story or what they're developing it as. Oh, thanks. Oh, excellent. Oh, very cool, Foggy. Well, thank you so much. Nice. Oh, wow. Co-creators of Avatar walked away. Oh, wow. So I wonder what's going on. Yeah, I wonder what that means for the story. I wonder, or how difficult James Cameron is to work with. I mean, a lot of people have said, uh, because he came from the uh, Roger Corman kind of school of production. So he's supposed to be pretty nasty on set and just, works incredibly hard and wants to get things done and is just merciless. Like he just treats people pretty rough on set. Just a few of the behind the scene things for like the Aliens movie and stuff. I was surprised how rough he was dealing with people. But yeah, I'm wondering if that's nice. Oh, very cool. Hmm. Yeah, that's excellent. I'm curious what's going to happen, and I just hope that yeah, it starts to feel normal, and like, being excited about going to see a movie actually starts to happen again. Yeah, because I think they're doing like they're doing social distancing and stuff in the movie theater, so the amount of people like when a new release comes out, the amount of people that actually can actually see it in the theater at the same time because there's not huge movie theaters here. Um, like not there's no movie theaters with maybe in Tokyo or something, but there's not a lot of movie theaters with balconies and things. It's a lot of cineplexes like kind of jammed into very upright. Like sometimes you have to take like 8 escalators to go up to the theater that your movie is playing at. So yeah, very cineplex kind of style. And so it just means yeah, like 50 people are gonna be able to see the movie at a time, depending on how they do the distancing. Oh, you're talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh, I see. What was I talking about? We're talking about the James Cameron, right? Yeah, new Avatar, Avatar colon The Last Airbender. No, I think we're talking about the blue avatars. Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, adult themes. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know much of the story from Avatar. Because that was kind of like I missed that too, like generationally, like that wasn't a thing, and also, um, yeah, it's just it looks like Western anime kind of thing. It looks like a Korean studio or whatever doing a kind of anime take, but yeah, yeah, I'm curious. That does seem like little kids. Well, I think we're gonna get into that whole weird area. Netflix is having all kinds of underage problems recently. You can't do adult themes with tweens. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm curious what they're gonna do. Yeah, with Avatar with the sequels because there's interesting places they can go. Um, but that story that that original story, I'm not sure where. Yeah, but where's that's gonna happen? Yeah, yeah, because I know. Yeah, we'll see. Because there's definitely, especially with the the technology, the being in the body of the avatar. There's a lot of interesting things that they can do with that, and I'm just curious, where it's gonna go. 'Cause I wouldn't know where to take that story, because that story seemed like. But that's the same thing with like the Matrix, like that original Matrix movie. I'm like, okay, that's done. But then they really moved on with the sequels, and I wouldn't have had any idea where to take that story, because the first story was just like, that's perfect. It had a little perfect arc, and where else can you go? And so something like the Matrix 2 did that same thing. We're like, wow, okay, I guess we can make this really complicated. But I wonder if that's I like the yeah, there's gonna have to be something, some kind of other clash, or just like militaristic humans returning, and then there's going to be more human Navi resistance, and I don't know. I wonder that's the weird thing about CG too, is the technology. Like, it's so many years since the original film now, and if there's going to be a noticeable difference, because that's one thing I noticed. You really feel the technology. Like the first Shrek movie looks horrible now, and I guess even like the first Toy Story movie looks a little rough, because you're getting used to more modern technology, and just the style that people chose to move 3D animation and stuff into. So I wonder if you're going to see that in the new Avatar movies too, where you're like, oh, this is the new one, or this is, now they can do that with the eyes, or now the hair looks like this, and so you're going to like see a noticeable difference. Or for continuity's sake, if they're going to try to not do anything too strikingly different in the look. I think it was in production for a long time. I don't quite know the timetable, like around Titanic and stuff. It might have already been like in pre-production then. It's really crazy. There's a great a couple of good film or YouTube videos just talking about when James Cameron was working for Roger Corman. They did so Alien was popular, so of course Corman does an Alien knockoff, and the Alien knockoff that the Roger Corman's production company produced, James Cameron worked on, and I think it was his first chance to direct. And so he directed. I don't know if he directed or if he was just like technical, if he did special effects, but he did. I forget what it was called. The thing from another planet or whatever, like one of those titles. But everything that he learned to do in that quick and dirty, like Corman style, then when he got the chance to the success of Terminator, then gave him the chance to write Aliens, the sequel to Aliens. And so he had worked on a knockoff of it, and then used everything that he learned making the knockoff to make a better sequel to Aliens, so with a decent budget and everything. But there was somebody that kind of went through kind of blow by blow, like how he had figured things out, and he had to do it on a real low budget and real fast, and it was just a cash grab. All those kind of B movies are just riding the popularity of Alien. And but then he ended up doing the actual official sequel to Alien from the knockoff. So that's an interesting history, and an interesting kind of the events, and the timing of his whole career is just amazing. How it worked out so well. But if I can think of what channel I saw that on, but there's some good videos out there talking about his early history, the early James Cameron history, and it was just being a talented, incredibly hard worker that I think made him, because he was doing like the matte paintings, he was doing like glass matte paintings and stuff before he did anything, before he directed anything. And so to be able to direct, write, and do special effects is pretty huge. I'm sure that makes Makes it pretty easy to do sci-fi, or makes you a very desirable director. But there's so many people that came out of, or that first did a movie for Roger Corman before they did mainstream Hollywood. Because I think Spielberg and Ron Howard and a bunch of people, their earliest movies were like Roger Corman B movies. But and then a lot of actors and stuff, like their first roles were that, because those productions, you just had to be willing to do that work incredibly fast for an incredibly low amount of money, and you were working in Hollywood. All right. And I'm sure it was surprising for a lot of those people that went from what they thought was like kind of low-grade B movies to, when they finally moved to the actual productions, how things were done were pretty much the same. It was just with much bigger, paychecks and much bigger amounts of money. I'm sure that was pretty funny. Everything that they learned transferred over, because everything is done that way. Quick and dirty. Yeah, so you can see the same thing with this one. I still have the cartoon from the last time. The joke is still on the bottom. So where is this going? Oh, that's right. Maybe the weird Japanese air conditioning. Yeah, so there's not... I'm sure in some of the newer houses there may be, but utilities are so expensive here that I don't think it's very practical to have central air in Japanese houses, especially the kind of weird McMansions they're building here. They're kind of imitating, suburban U.S. or whatever, and building, the giant doors, the houses that have the giant door and the big entryway, and then the great room, and you're losing a whole part of your second floor because you have this gigantic vaulted ceiling in your kind of main living space. So there are building some homes like that in Japan, which is insane, because it's really expensive. Electricity and gas and everything are very expensive compared to the U.S. So heating and cooling that kind of space is just insane. It's just crazy. But I'm sure some people can afford it here. There's some insanely wealthy Japanese. But so every room has a like this thing. I'm drawing a little Japanese air conditioning unit, which also does like forced fan heat if you'd want it. But it'll do both heating and cooling. Probably much better at cooling. But these low profile. You just need a hole this big in your wall for a vent or a drain, and then you just plug it in to the wall, so every room can have its own little AC unit. And that's more typical. So you're only heating or cooling down the rooms you're actually in. So that means like every hallway or everything in between is freezing cold or boiling hot, because of the way they break that up. But I think that's the only way to make it affordable to really cool down a room. So you have to have rooms you can kind of or floors of the room that you can kind of make smaller. You can't have a whole huge open floor plan, because then you'd need multiple air conditioning. So they kind of look like this, except they're hanging on the wall. And I'm trying to think, they've got more vents on them. But I think you can do this kind of their version of the in-window kind of AC units that like you usually have for like a rental when you're renting an apartment or whatever. But yeah, pretty much everything. And it let them, I think, put air conditioning in very, very old Japanese houses because, you just had to make a small hole and be able to hang it. It had to have support that it could hang on a wall. And then you could cool down a room decently. And so yeah, the little weird air conditioners, and they kind of fold out. They have a little automation to them so that they close, and then when you turn them on, the vents open, and oh yeah, maybe I should draw something like that. So kind of vents open on the bottom, and yeah, so kind of like that. You get a little bit of it opens up, and so I guess then it cleans itself and cycles when it closes. Ah. Oh yeah, yeah, you definitely should. Hypnotic. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. And yeah, let me know if you end up in the western side of Japan. I can let you know where some good places to eat and all that stuff are. I don't know Tokyo as well, although probably better than my wife. I've had more business trips to Tokyo, so and she doesn't like to go, so it's usually just me. Just me. All right, something like this. This. Revenge of the Iceberg Hunter. Very good show. Yeah, they have to do a alternate history Titanic where the ship doesn't sink. Yeah, what am I doing here? I'm trying to erase. I'm not. It's just not happening. Oh, that's right, because my keyboard is in Japanese. There we go. Thought I saw something about that. Alternate history. Titanic, or somebody made that joke. Alright. Oh, what were they talking about? Oh, hydrogen. Yeah, hydrogen cell cars, I think, were on the news or something in Japan. And my wife had never seen the footage of the Hindenburg. So I was trying to explain to her that hydrogen fuel cells and stuff are very inflammable. They're can explode. That hydrogen is not super stable, and she'd never seen the footage of the Hindenburg disaster, and so it's like, yeah, this if you have a really severe front end collision or whatever, this could be the situation you're in with your hydrogen fuel cell car. And she didn't know anything about that, so that was pretty funny because that is such a standard image. I mean, it was like the cover of a Led Zeppelin album, which is like so in American popular culture that it was so funny that she didn't know that image. She didn't know, and she's probably seen that. She's probably seen like a T-shirt or something with that album cover, or has seen that image, but didn't know what that was. But yeah, it was funny to show her that for the first time. The humanity, newsreel of the Hindenburg. Yeah, I wonder if dirigibles were ever popular in Japan. So I can't even picture a Japanese blimp. Like seeing there's no. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Because how we have the Goodyear blimp over sporting events and stuff. I don't know if that was ever a thing in Japan. I don't know if I'm doing an air conditioning joke. Oh yeah, yeah. Somebody was just talking about that. Like they're redoing, or there's there a new movie, because I know the Ben Affleck uh, older movie. So the talking to people about Pearl Harbor, the thing that most Japanese people are really freaked out about is the Doolittle raids that followed Pearl Harbor when there was bombings in Tokyo. They are really like horrified by that happened, and that was like so immediate. There was such an immediate response to that. But yeah, I haven't. I got to check if there's a new Pearl Harbor movie. I'm not sure like what the angle is or whatever. But that's a very it's a very weird, sensitive thing, because I think a lot of the only thing that Japanese people I think are sensitive about, like kind of stereotype racially, and it's not really racially, it's nationally, is the sneaky uh, characterization that came from the wartime. So the sneaky Pearl Harbor attack, like however much we knew or didn't know about it, um, the Japanese people, that's the only thing that they get really kind of disgusted by, or kind of offended by, is the is being called sneaky, because that's the weird kind of characterization that continued throughout the war, because just because of a lot of their strategies and things. And then maybe it was also a derogative thing that they used for when in the 80s, when businesses were negotiating with Japanese companies and things. I think the way that Japanese people don't show their intent very well. They hide their intent very well, and in negotiation, you don't really quite know where you are. So good poker face, for negotiation. And so that sneaky thing, I think, hung around after the war. So that's the only thing I've ever heard, and that's connected to Pearl Harbor. So yeah, I don't know. It's here's a weird story. So the first time that my mother got to meet my younger daughter was, we met halfway in it's not quite halfway, it's kind of halfway in Hawaii. So yeah, she had some frequent flyer miles to use, and we met in Hawaii. And I don't know, it was really weird, and I don't quite understand the motivation. But I have my Japanese mother-in-law, my Japanese wife, my half Japanese 2-year-old daughter, and my mother suggested that we go see the Pearl Harbor Memorial in Honolulu, and and there's a film that you watch, and then you go out. It's like you take a boat to the memorial, and then they talk about, so between the footage and the film, which is still there's a little bit of propaganda and stuff in it. It's not a real um, objective version of events. It's very America patriotism, because it's a memorial of war dead, so of course it's that that's going to be there. But that made me really uncomfortable, like seeing, like having my Japanese side of the family get the war memorial, like, can you believe they did this, and here's all the men that died. And then we took a boat over the where the ships were sunk, and where there still probably are skeletons and bodies in chamber. I don't know exactly as far as but like you felt like there could be people still in the remains of people still in these waters. And it was just a really weird, uncomfortable thing that I don't think it didn't have the intended like feeling or result. It was just like weirdly uncomfortable, because if there were, well, I guess there's a shrine of like to honor war dead, that's a very do not visit for politicians in Japan. But it would kind of be like that, like yeah, it's just weird. It's just very uncomfortable, because the wartime and peacetime are such, like, the mindset and everything is so dramatically different. And the film that you're watching in the little theater before you take the boat is very wartime, talking about the attacks. And I think it's pretty shocking for my Japanese side of the family. And yeah, I don't know what their what they knew, or what kind of the details of things. So the details of things were pretty horrific, but I think the opposite would have just been just as horrible to witness. Because there's near my Japanese in-laws house, there's a little memorial that's always covered with the 1,000 paper cranes, the peace kind of symbol of the paper cranes. And that area was completely flattened by bombing, really, really horrible bombings during the war. And there's a little memorial to commemorate the dead there that I walked by all the time, and I never knew what it was for. And so yeah, it's that kind of thing was, yeah, really crazy. So anyhow, Pearl Harbor. Yeah, so being there in Pearl Harbor because my stepfather was stationed there during the 70s, I think 60s, I guess, and uh, in Hawaii, not in Pearl Harbor, but so he wanted to go, and then my mother suggested we go, and it was just an odd thing because I think for yeah, it was just a really odd thing, and it didn't work out as well. It wasn't a good culture exchange. It was just a really uncomfortable thing. Yes. So I don't know why that was I'm surprised because I wouldn't have. Yeah, that was the last thing I think that and so Hawaii. The funny thing is Hawaii is an amazingly popular, you know, tourist destination for uh, for Japanese people. Like Japanese people love Hawaii, but I don't think any Japanese people have ever gone on. You know, it's like incredibly rare for Japanese people to go on to visit the Pearl Harbor Memorial, and so that was just odd. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but yeah, very funny awkwardness. So yeah, I don't know what because they did do. What was the this was maybe like 10 years ago or something. They did the Iwo Jima movie where they did the movie from both sides. There was like a Japanese production that did like the Japanese version of it, and then the American production did the American version of it. And so they kind of have two stories of the sides in the conflict. But I think it was specifically Iwo Jima. Like, yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, so so I don't know the yeah, so that was funny, but that's those are the kind of things that come up with having an international kind of mixed marriage is you don't know where those sensitivities or the I don't know what the motivation was. I think it was well intended. I think my mother's intent was good, but war is not something you share and commune over. It's just oh, I'm glad we're not doing that anymore. I mean, I don't know what the feeling should be because yeah, war memorial is always brutal. Yeah, it's always lives that were didn't need to be lost. The feeling of that is always very unjust and very yeah, very brutal. But anyhow, yeah. So sorry. So that was a whole big thing about yeah. So Pearl Harbor, I think it was just reported as in Japan, like the depictions I've seen of it in documentaries and stuff about Japan is basically Japan was just told, hey, wow, we just did this amazing thing. Like we're doing pretty good here. Our armies are strong. The emperor is God, and we're doing well. So they were there were kids like cheering and being proud of their country when they heard about Pearl Harbor, and it was just one of many little victories against kind of Western invaders in Asia. And yeah, I don't think they really realized, pulling the U.S. into the war is it was not a great idea. But yeah, yeah. So I'm curious, and I'm curious what the take is because I think the Ben Affleck Pearl Harbor movie was the Japanese are very faceless, very just pilots of planes, and it was just the effect on the ground and the lives of the people during the attack. So I'm not sure what they would do in a new movie. I'll have to. So sorry. Yeah, right. No, but I think Japanese people are surprisingly like. Okay, I kind of get what you're going for, and they're not gonna hold grudges and things. So I was very surprised how that wasn't. I mean, I think my wife was more blown away. Like it gave her like, okay, why did we do that? What was that about? But no, it was uh, in that situation. I respect my mother-in-law a lot because she's like, yeah, okay, this was a fact and this existed, but I don't think this was meant to hurt my feelings or anything, or like be you know she got over it. I think it was a bit of a social social faux pas on my family's part, my American family's part. But yeah, yeah, it was just funny. But I guess like culturally, what else do you do in Hawaii? You like tour the pineapple plantation? I mean, yeah, it's like aside from the outlet shopping and the beautiful, you know, scenery, yeah, as a group, what are you going to do? So I would highly recommend Pearl Harbor, unless you had, you know, unless you're directly involved, you had family members or something. I would not bring your Japanese friends to the Pearl Harbor Memorial. But yeah, so that's the only thing that, from yeah my perspective here is that yeah, it's not seen as a major. It wasn't seen as anything major, and I think Japanese people resent the sneaky characterization that kind of came from that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, sorry. So that was a whole lot of me not drawing and just rambling about. Yeah, but I'm sure a lot of people with, if you've got kind of an international kind of mixed thing, you're always surprised, like the sensitivities or the, you know, awkward things always probably surprise you, like where they come from. You can't expect them. Although that I probably could have predicted that being an uncomfortable situation, but yeah, very funny. Yeah, and the interesting thing too is my parents couldn't understand, like if we went to something which doesn't exist, but if we went to something that was, you know, talking about um, you know, events during the wartime in Japan, it would be in Japanese, so they wouldn't understand. And so my Japanese family has the unfortunate ability to understand English, so they had to yeah listen to the whole thing. Uh, yeah, and that's something. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna keep rambling about this. Oh, hey, yeah, Hypnotic. Thank you for stopping by. Sorry, I'm gonna just keep going on, keep going on and on. Yeah, take it easy. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, and yeah, hope to see you again. It's fun to talk about stuff with you. So take it easy. Yeah, but overall, yeah, I've got a great relationship with the in-laws, and I think because you know there's enough of a language barrier that they can't criticize me in their native tongue, which would be much sharper and much more painful. And if I understood the like full context and everything, I think it would be much more difficult. So they can't directly. So how I talk to them and how they talk to me is always more polite than it would be in other situations if we were both from the same culture. So I think that helps a lot. But yeah, but they yeah, relationship has always been good. They're really happy to have us here because the biggest fear when we met when I first met my wife was that she would just disappear to America and they would never see her again. So they would never have grandkids. They would never have holidays together because it would be so difficult. And so they're so happy that it worked out that we would live here because I think that's a big fear that a lot of families have with you know international boyfriends. Okay, so you're just going to move to his home country and then never come back again. But oh yeah, so but the you know talking about like war stuff and things, that's a thing. I guess it's just not covered at all. I mean, it's just like a you know maybe in Germany it's the same case as well, where they kind of skip over that part of history, and so they don't talk about it a lot or very thoroughly in schools. But you know, having a half American, half Japanese daughter, she kind of has to know the history and kind of know yeah, kind of everything. So, and especially, I think I was talking about this last week because it's the memorial of the atomic bombings, and yeah, so she kind of needs to have some context for that, so it makes a little bit of sense. Or she, I mean, not that that can ever make a lot of sense, but just to know what happened and what that was all about, and must be very interesting too to know that you know your two halves were at war. You know, they were at war with each other. That has to be, and then I'm sure a lot of European people have had that kind of experience as well. But yeah, take it easy, Hypnotic. Thanks for coming by. But yeah, so that's a thing she's going to have to, and she'll have a lot of questions, and it'll be challenging, I think, to explain certain things to her, and hopefully it won't become a you know a point of she won't feel like she has to rebel against you know one side or the other kind of thinking. but we'll see. Yeah, but that's something my wife is always talking about. Is she wants to make sure she has an understanding, or at least a context of what history is, if they're not going to talk about it in the school system here, or if whatever version they give her, we don't completely agree with, or we don't. We want her to have a more complete idea. So yeah, that'll always be an interesting thing. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, Sedona. Yeah, so visited the memorial. Yeah, it's very. Yeah, it's all war memorials are very sad, well, especially that one, because, like I said, there's the wreckage. Is sunken at the bottom of the harbor. So yeah, so I didn't mean to go on rant so long about Pearl Harbor, but that's just a funny. This is one of those funny culture clashy kind of experiences that I think is kind of unique to the situation. Yeah, but yeah, interesting, guys. It's gotta be getting late for some people. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm online. Oh, I guess it's yeah. I'm usually go till around 6, so usually get people tired. Yeah, so I'm curious. I'll have to look up and see if there's a new Pearl Harbor movie. Yeah, I don't know how those movies do in Japan, because they usually come here. The American World War II movies come to Japan, and I wonder how they do. I wonder if there's that many people that are that interested in seeing it, because it's going to be a Hollywood version. It's going to be a very pro-American version. So I'm curious, like what the motivation to see it is, other than to see a rah-rah American take on the war. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, you see those, and Japan, like I was saying with the memorial of the atomic bombing, they do a lot of historical drama on television, mostly the kind of PBS station. But there's also movies. There's also movies set during the war. But yeah, some really difficult subject matter. I think they go after like a lot of personal stories. So like dramas or movies that'll be based on letters that soldiers wrote. So some very difficult but very small experiences during the war, because there's so many soldiers that were stationed on islands and stuff that were just dug in and just had to wait wait to be assaulted, and just were cut off for a long time. So a lot of like really brutal small scale stories is what I've mostly seen. All right. Okay, well, I might actually, I don't know. I shouldn't do the air conditioning. No one's going to know what that's supposed to be. I don't think I can get the scale of it to make any sense. Well, let's see what else. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do both. Most of the American movies you can see both ways. I think that's why they have so many screens, like why they do the Cineplex thing, is they'll do a dub, and always for younger kids stuff, like Disney movies and stuff. Sometimes that's the only way to see them, is the dubbed version, and then they'll do a subtitled version as well. But yeah, in any American movies, any Hollywood movies are played dubbed and subtitled versions. That makes it a little difficult if you want to watch a specific version that you might schedule might be off. An exorcism kit for Christmas. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think and a lot of the delay for the release of movies here, because it seems like Japan gets movies so late. compared to other parts of the American movies, so late compared to other parts of the world. But I think they spend a lot of time on the dubbing, the production for the dubbing. So they do the translation and then have to record a dub, and they do a nice job. And it's a limited number of actors, so you hear a lot of the same voices. But I think that causes things to be very delayed, because maybe most countries are no dub, they just do subtitles. So yeah, but so Japan gets things really late sometimes. Oh yeah, but like I was saying, that was the thing that really surprised me about Hulu in Japan. When Hulu first came out, they had the next day episodes of Saturday Night Live subtitled in Japanese. And I can't even imagine the amount of work that was. It didn't last for long, but it was like 6 months or something. But I was so amazed I could watch the brand new episode of the latest season of Saturday Night Live a day after, subtitled in Japanese. So somebody had to bust their ass, and I can't even imagine like translating goofy comedy and having to political skits and things, having to so maybe the subtitles weren't amazing quality, but I'm still amazed that was somebody's job, is like, in 24 hours you need to subtitle this 90-minute comedy show, and full of random political references that you have no idea what they're talking about, or it does like pop culture things like reality TV and stuff that isn't here. It's crazy. She's evil. Oh no. Oh, that is funny. Because if it is dementia, yeah, you wouldn't wouldn't be apologizing. Wow. Yeah, that's rough. Faking the mental illness just so you can be kind of abusive. Yeah, the only thing I've had experience with is like older relatives faking hard of hearing so they don't have to listen to what you're saying. Or they don't have to, if you tell them to stop doing something or that you want something, they don't hear you. So can't hear you, so I can't follow your wishes. Yeah. All right, so maybe no air conditioning. That's just too specific. Hmm. All right. I'm not, sorry, I'm not checking the level. Yeah, sorry if I got the mic stand is in a weird position, so it's a little further away. There we go. A little further away than usual, so sorry if I turn my head if it goes too quiet. That's got to be, and I want to, try not to vary the sound too much, because it can get really annoying going off and on mic. All right. Oh yeah, when I was doing the voiceover, recording the voiceover for the video last night, I realized I cannot say the same I cannot say the same thing the exact same way twice. Like, I could never be an actor or do anything professionally, because I can't reproduce like any performance. It's so inconsistent. Like, listening back, if I try to say the same thing 3 times in a row, it's always going to have enough of a variation that so that's very funny. It's very frustrating to try to make things sound completely even, because I'm also trying to do a voice. Like, I don't want it to be recognizable as my voice, so I'm reading things a little differently. Oops, sorry, that mic just slipped again. Reading things a little differently, and that also causes me to be real inconsistent. Sometimes it just doesn't sound the same. That's the thing. I think I just have a consistency problem overall, because I've noticed that with like creative projects and stuff in illustration, like I'll come up with a style or a look of something for a particular project, and if that client ever comes back to me, or if I ever need to do that work again, I'm not quite able to do it the exact same way. Like I'm not one of those. So a lot of people in animation and illustration and stuff can be really successful if they're really good at copying and really good at imitating styles. Because, you know, for animation, basically you've got a model sheet of a character, and you don't want to go off model. If it stops looking like the character, or if the distance between the eyes changes or whatever, it starts looking strange. And so people that are really good at imitating a style or copying a look, or, you know, staying on model with animation, that's a very desirable skill, and I've never had that at all. But just good, though, because I think it kept me out of the trenches. I didn't end up getting stuck behind an animation desk doing other people's characters forever. So that, you know, got me out of those kind of work-a-day, kind of grindy jobs. But at the same time, yeah, it's a really odd thing. The yeah, it's kind of a missing thing, but at the same time, I think it's been good. It's been good for my work, because it's forced me to do original stuff and get paid for my stuff, instead of just having to be happy doing other people's things. Let's just make this a solid block. You can probably even see that it's not only like when I switched over to digital with this cartoon, but, you know, if you skip around, you know, back and forth years, things tend to look a little different. Like things get a different look. Oh, let me just do this. Yeah, I can just get a different look from year to year. And it's not because of the technique or the technology stayed exactly the same. It's just me that changed. And sometimes that happens when you refine, you know, you refine a style or a look of something a little bit. Things change over time, but my stuff just keeps changing. All right. Yeah, keyboards are not this even, but we'll pretend they are. None of those lines line up. Whoops. Oh, wait, I can still go back. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Perspective is a little wonky. Oh, wow. Oh, I missed, sorry. I wasn't reading. Oh, no. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Hey, Foggy. Yeah, I haven't done. I've done a little bit of comic book work, and I've self-published my own comics, but not like superhero stuff or anything. But yeah, I mostly did. Was like a producer for Marvel on the War Machine when they were doing that Marvel Max series. I get to do like kind of production work. Whoa, jeez. Production work on that. But yeah, I don't have any. I mean, I can. You know, like I said, probably not consistently. Like I could probably come up with a nice style for a superhero style comic, but I don't know if I could consistently draw one. Like I don't have a strong enough individual style that. And I haven't done enough of that work. But yeah, I've done some. Like the Citizen Spaceman is the comic that I did, but that I drew that in Illustrator, so it's kind of flat and minimalist. You know, it's using just a lot of shapes and tones and things. So more, you know, kind of art comic deal. But yeah, but I like comic books. I like sequential art a lot. Ah, yeah, and that's a good idea. No, I definitely need to shift my how I'm working, because I'm sitting on a little sofa at a table. When I'm at home, I should be in a chair that has some back support and adjustment and stuff. So yeah, that's probably a good idea. I think it'll change. That would help a lot to get things. Yeah, that's a good idea. But yeah, so I've just done a little bit of like, kind of cleanup and assembly. And I did a lot of lettering and balloon work because we lost we lost people when we were working on that Marvel project. We lost people and had to just kind of make up. We were on schedule because it was a weekly comic. It was like the gimmick was we're going to do a weekly comic for 99 cents. And it ended up not being that. But so we had to do the lettering and everything as fast as possible. And the main creator was doing a house exchange at the time. So they're doing like a house swap with a couple in England. So they traded houses for a month. So right in the middle of this production schedule for a weekly comic book that we were producing, the creator like left the country. So I was kind of handling, getting things finished up. And yeah, because all of the art was coming in, but it needed balloons. We had scripts and everything. I needed balloons, so I ended up being letterer, producer. But I haven't drawn anything. Just more cartoon. Like I did the single page comic for Disney Adventures, but that was like a kid's comic, so more of a kiddie style, not so heroic superhero style. But yeah, I've tried a couple of different things. This is the one that's, I think, stuck the longest. Like this simple gag cartoon style has stayed with me the longest, as far as and it's changed a bit, but from the original look. But this has stayed the most, and I think it's the thing that I can kind of get back into the easiest. Like every week when I go back to draw this, those are looking a little too detailed. I gets back into it a lot. Oh yeah, no, I haven't tried Fiverr. I got a little turned off when I saw a couple of YouTubers that are kind of fucking around, or sorry, that are messing around with Fiverr, with people on Fiverr, and they're doing these like challenges where they say, okay, so I went on Fiverr and I had these people redesign my logo or do something for my channel, and I paid this guy $10 and this guy $50 and this guy $150 and this guy $500, and let me criticize and compare. And so I don't want to walk into something like that, like accidentally be creating content for somebody else's channel where they're like tearing apart my graphic design or whatever. So yeah, I was a little bit hesitant about that, but yeah, I don't need little jobs as much, and I think that's what Fiverr is. It's a lot of little jobs. So I'd rather do the bigger, stuff that takes more time, but then also pays more money. So that's kind of how you can do it. You can do either way, like do bigger jobs that take longer time, have a little more pressure because of the, you have to, you're sustaining this whole thing and have to kind of perform and have a big result at the end, or do a bunch of little jobs that some people can like, some clients can get pissed off or some clients can be happy, and but you're doing so many small little things that they don't matter as much. Like of course the probably deadlines and everything are a lot tighter, but they don't matter as much. And I think just my sensibility or age, I would rather have the bigger projects because I know I can handle the pressure, and I would rather have one thing to focus on for a longer time than a bunch of little, okay, now I got to do this, little animation of a sprinkler in grass, and then I have to do this flying thing. Yeah, I like the focus on a bigger thing, but I'm curious. Yeah, I got really turned off. Yeah, so I got turned off by that. So I was worried about Fiverr being and also I've seen stuff where people are obviously like reselling assets on Fiverr, like people are like buying royalty free, or like using those things that produce animations like Toon something or whatever. The stuff that's basically made for just corporate videos and explanation videos and stuff that's real easy animation. And I know people are like reselling those on Fiverr, which could be something that people could actually do themselves. But yeah, Toonly or something. Yeah, I've seen a couple of like shortcut animation projects that people are selling as their own animation on the site. So I'm not sure how well moderated or well controlled it is. Yeah, I don't know. But definitely would be curious to try. I'm lucky enough to have enough, to have enough people that know about me, and when they need stuff will contact me. So that's worked for a while. Yeah. So we'll see. Okay. So what are we doing? Let's... Oh, I think that scale's a little big. Let's try this. But yeah, but there's a lot of good stuff now and a lot of ways to connect with people. Yeah, because I think we've even gotten work off of LinkedIn, not like hired for positions, but actually gotten freelance work and clients from LinkedIn. And I haven't updated anything on there for a while, so it's all like older positions and stuff. But you start talking to someone on there, and stuff can happen. All right, well, this is looking weird. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Oh, these are both in the same. Yeah, it's fine. Let's see. Oh, maybe just a box, like a literal cardboard box might be funny. Yeah, okay, that might work. Yeah, that's right too. I forgot how much bigger monitor boxes used to be, because they were all big CRT tubes. Okay, let's see if I can pull this off. So they're going to be trying to connect to the monitor box. Oof. Let's slim this a little bit, even though I think it would be really huge, a really huge box. All right, and then I probably don't want to do this in black, but I'll do it as another. So just a picture of a monitor, a representation of a monitor on the box, but something that something that would make them think. Okay, yeah, so that will be an image on the box. Yeah, something like that. And maybe cables. This is a pretty chunky, old school looking keyboard though. Oops. Let's try this. All right. Yeah, actually, that's right. It doesn't look like a full-size keyboard, does it? It looks like it does look like a Stream Deck. Damn. Yeah, maybe that's not going to work if I if I'm doing a monitor box joke, it's not going to read. Oops. It's not going to read as a monitor, or as a keyboard, sorry. It won't read as a full-size keyboard. Let me just try to get this box looking better. Oh, something like that. Yeah, that's right. It looks like a control for a video editing suite or something. So maybe just the mouse. Let me see. Oh, maybe, yeah, instead of this keyboard, maybe a box for a keyboard as well. Yeah, so let me see. It's up here. So maybe oops. Box for the yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe not this keyboard, but a box that would hold a keyboard. And now I gotta switch this to. Now that's all off. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this back. Might just have to redraw it. So it looks like it's on the face. Yeah, I think that's gonna be different anyhow. All right. Yeah, I'll try that. A keyboard monitor and a keyboard box. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I should, whoops. Yeah, because right now I'm using the cam link. So I've got a camcorder. My webcam is actually a camcorder. You're coming out with the cam link, but I can also use that to put a PlayStation 4 or whatever into the PC or whatever console. So yeah, it's the kind of low end equivalent, and that was the funny thing, that right as soon as lockdown happened, somebody must have bought up all of the kind of most standard gear for live streaming, because it was all third-party sellers and really expensive. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be the gag. Yeah, because this keyboard doesn't read as anything. It looks like a little switch. And then I'll do a just little representation. So these guys, but make it pretty big. There we go. Oh, wrong keyboard setting again. There we go. Okay, maybe I can do this. Yeah, so the mouse will be trying to connect to a box and a monitor in a box. Yeah, things are easier to find now. Yeah, the stuff that was all third party or not available, stuff is back in stock now. So certain supply chains must be back up and going. So yeah, stuff has gotten better. Immediately, like when everybody had to start working from home, all of the headsets and any kind of gaming headphone or headset for video conference or Skype or Zoom were all sold out. But those are coming back now too. So I think we've the demand, is finally, everyone's gotten something that they've been using, and so the demand is a little less. Yeah, so that's gone a little bit better. Yeah, so let me turn this off for a second. Oh, and actually put it here. Yeah. Let me just color this to see if this idea is going to even work. Yeah, I was glad to see that because I was worried that was going to go on for a much longer time. Maybe a little more yellow, or just less gray. Oh, maybe not. Oh yeah, no, that's better. Yeah, that's more. All right, so it didn't realize it was connecting to something still in a box. Yeah, something that looks okay. Yeah, there we go. Oh, what's that? I'm trying to draw yeah, stuff in boxes, and so maybe then invert that. Yeah, so just draw stuff still. That's actually, yeah, I don't want to do too many bad weather jokes, but yeah, that would be funny. But yeah, the idea was yeah, that it was just trying to connect with things that may or may not still be in boxes. I guess if I made them look open, it would work a little bit better. But yeah, stuff that was still in boxes. Oops. Yeah, but it would definitely work for a bad weather joke. Oh, these lines are too thick. Yeah, something like that. All right. All right. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, it would probably be a good time with the rush for everyone to work at home kind of over. I'm sure a lot of places have stocked up, so might get some good deals. Oh, wow. Yeah, power supplies. Yeah. That sucks. Yeah, I don't know. How long we're gonna have to deal with these weird markets. Yeah, there's I think there was some bad, literal bad weather with the with some vegetables in Japan because the tomatoes and lettuce are really expensive and mostly pretty terrible quality now. So I don't know where they're going, like where they're sourcing some of that stuff, but I don't think that's pandemic related. I think it's that there was a bad season. But who knows? Because who knows, which countries were able to bully their way into, getting more produce than they should. There we go. I don't know if this is going to work. A wireless mouse connecting to things in packages. Maybe I should put some more labels or something on this box. Yeah, so I don't know if it's a something still in a box or just empty boxes. I guess if it's sealed, that they're still in boxes. Yeah, something like that. All right. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I've heard from a good source that things are still, there's still areas in the original bad weather spot that a lot of truck drivers and things and people don't want to go into, or if they do won't have, or if they are forced to drive into certain areas, they charge double prices. So a lot of things do or may get more expensive or still be affected by our current bad weather for a while, because even if it's not completely true, the truck drivers are still, very cautious about things. So I don't know how long that's gonna continue. But yeah, that was a interesting thing I heard, that there's still areas that nobody wants to travel in because of how things went down. But if you saw the summer pool parties and music festivals, you would think that that was not true. But yeah, who knows? Oh. Yeah, I don't like how willing American media is to publish, obviously communist propaganda from the CCP, the everything that they put out to show how well things are doing or whatever. The media uncritically in the West just puts it out there as long as it makes sense with like some weird story they want to tell about, how poorly other countries are handling, the bad weather or whatever. That was really, really depressing. Yeah, because I guess people aren't thinking like that anymore. They're being very cautious. They're just hungry for, new images or information to show. So they're more than willing. And people must know that too. People making propaganda must know that. Yeah, their stuff will get shown. Okay, there we go. Something like that. And I guess the boxes do have eyes too. That little line is going to weirdly look like a smile. Let's see. I don't know about that. All right. Yeah, these are a little close together. Yeah, I can't see. Having memory problems, like computer memory problems or what, but yeah, my cursors are really hard to see. Yeah, so maybe these eyes can just be on this side. Otherwise that line looks a little too odd. Yeah, I guess that kind of works. Maybe one size smaller. Does that look weird? No, that works. Yeah, a little more depth because it's a small. Well, maybe not. It makes it look a little dizzy or something. Yeah, that's funny. It should be good to not make it look flat, but yeah, it doesn't help. Oops. It doesn't help the perspective or anything. It just looks weird. maybe like that. Okay. It's mouse-like. I think that'll read okay. Better than the Japanese air conditioning drawing. Okay. Hey, Dolly. No problem. Yeah, I'm on a little later. But, yeah, try to pop back if you can. Good to see you, Dolly. Good luck with your course. Hope it's not too grueling. Alright. Okay, even though it might not look like it, I'm going to try to make this work. That looks super purple to me for some reason. Let's... Oh. It's... brighter than that. Or, I mean, whiter than that. Oh, good. Please lurk. All right. So, yeah, this is just various medication, I guess. Oh. There we go. And something kind of green. Yeah, that works. And maybe here, and then I'll do a little bit inside. Ah. Oh no. Oh no. A bunch of untrained, whoa, untrained boomers. Whoa, I have a break in the line there. Let's see if this works. There we go. And now maybe some pill colors. And blue. I've got my color picker off screen. It's really messing with my head. I keep looking down to color something. Guess I can move it. I'll just have to move it back, but yeah. There's the color picker. All right. And something like that. Sure. Okay, so the cap. There we go. Try a label on here on another layer. Yeah. Something like that. I think I can do a, maybe like a blue, bright blue stripe. Not too recognizable. Oh, and probably some water in the glass. Oh, that's right. Then I can lighten it up. Oof. Or maybe, there we go. Okay, yeah, this should work. don't specifically know what any of this stuff is. But it's good not to brand anything too heavily. Yeah, I'm surprised I did like a Diet Coke can and a Coke can in a cartoon a while ago, and or no, it was beer. It was a beer can. It was a Coke can and like a beer can, like Budweiser or something. And I just used a Google image, just so I could, kind of get the general logo. And it was just squiggles. It was just like little lines and squiggles, nothing very accurate. But somebody like complained right away, like, did you were sponsored to draw this or something, because it was a recognizable brand. It was very odd. I thought it was just making it fun and recognizable, and so somebody is like offended or whatever that it was recognizable. Although surprisingly, like with some of those parody logos and things, some brands do get offended. I don't know how. Usually parody is kind of protected, so I don't know how much they can actually cease and desist you, but yeah, I've seen that happen. I've seen some. Oh yeah, that's right. I've seen some pretty brutal incidents of that happen. Oh, this should have. Yeah, this should have a second color on that pill. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, that shows up. Yeah, the yellow, the highlight, a little bit when it goes over the blue. The highlight shows up a little bit. But the yellow blocks most of it out. Okay. So, just one more. No, just use the same red. There we go. So I guess some kind of stomach medicine joke? I don't know. Or red eyes. I haven't done that before. No, this perspective's a little harsh. Yeah, I guess the side is probably better. Yeah, it's weird. I really can barely see. Maybe it's just the settings on this tablet, but yeah, I can't zoom in a bit. Yeah, for some reason, I wonder if that's a setting. The cursors don't stay white. They go this kind of gray, and it gets lost. And anything that I've colored, it gets lost right away. Weird. Also, this desktop doesn't like my mouse very much. I should do something with that. All right. There we go. Yeah, right. Yes, Pepto. It's a weird version of Pepto-Bismol. Oh wow. Oh hey Dolly, yeah, the last session was fun. You were definitely missed. I think you would have helped helped round out the group well. Yeah, it was John, Alan, and Chris running it. So four people total, and we played kind of sci-fi Sci-Fi Top Gun. And yeah, it was fun. And it was the same kind of like when we did the weird like Thundar the Barbarian, kind of the wacky fantasy one, where we were writing down all of our traits and people were like part animals and stuff. We had traits that were on cards. Chris did a bunch of cards of all the traits, and so we kind of got to pick from there, and it helped a little bit. As far as character creation, seemed to go a little bit faster, but still, I don't think we were referring to them as much as we should have, or using them in role play. But it was fun, yeah. It was, and it had a kind of abstracted range finder for so that you actually had dogfights, like we actually had ship to ship combat, and we just didn't. And it was just represented by ranges and abstractly, and you were just like. Had like advantage in certain positions, but it was fun. Yeah, it was really fun. That group is always really really good to play with, and it'd been a while, yeah, since it just felt like a long time to get together. It was nice face to face, because the last few things that I've done have been on Discord or whatever, and yeah, face to face is just so much better. Even if it's riskier, it's yeah, much better to play in person. But we'll have to set something up. We'll have to try to do something remotely if we can get the that's right. Oh, that's right. The weird stuff in Japan, yeah, everything is like a pharmacy, and it closes before the rest of the store. The little section that sells over the counter medicine will close earlier because they have to have a pharmacist on staff. And it's not prescription drugs. It's just regular over-the-counter stuff. But there has to be someone with some training or whatever selling it. Yeah, it's so odd. All right. So I don't know what this grouping of stomach medicine is all about. Yeah, I miss you too, Dolly. The yeah, games are much more fun. We'll have to find an easy, like, we should be able to find a flexible time, although Chris always says she doesn't, maybe John too, neither of them have a comfortable kind of situation at home where they can, sit and talk online. There might be a lot of interruptions or a lot of, kids stuff. So that might be a difficulty. But we have to do that. But we could, if the timing works out, and it would be like, yeah, because it might be just afternoon for you, we could actually like stream you, like I can just put you on a little tablet with a speaker, and you could like virtually exist there. So you'd have a camera, you could see the table, and then you could talk to us. You just have to put your face like really close to your camera, so it's to scale. But we should try something like that, where you just like exist virtually at the table. Like the TV in the Dark Knight. The TV's plan. But yeah, so that would be good if we could get that figured out. And if we could figure it out with you, then we could figure it out with Andrew and Jamie too. That would be so great. A global game. It would be such different times for everybody though. Yeah, what was that? I forget. Yeah, I had an experience like that when somebody was like, it was late at night and very early in the morning for people that I was in a conference call with, and it was completely opposite, like, their energy level, and like, when you're talking about something and you're going to bed after you finish the conversation, you have a lot different energy and a lot different motivation than when you are, still up in the morning, just had your morning coffee. Okay, well, I think both of these are colored, so we can look at some comments. Let me see if I think I've got this all set. So let's take a quick look at last week's cartoons. There we go. So yeah, I'm kind of looking like I'm looking at them. All right. So yeah, this was the 20th, so last week, and the candle and the pillow. So the more he worried about it, the harder it was to stay lit, which has been on the bottom of both of the cartoons. Ooh, 4 comments. Uh-oh, let me see if people get the reference here. Evidence of flame envy with other candles. Thank you, Ed. It happens to all of us. If Viagra helps, okay, they do. People do get what I'm joking about. And looks like he's burning at both ends. Nice. Excellent. And there's a reply here. That happens to me if I eat too many jalapenos. Really, Alan? You can't stay lit? That's too weird. All right, and let's go back to the other one. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the future of breakfast didn't seem to include cereal bowls. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Whenever I do random stuff, yeah, people comment a lot. And maybe they're just like, I don't know what the hell is going on. You can use the bowls for poke. Maybe puke. I haven't seen those. Oh, the small cereal boxes with the plastic liners that you could add milk to in a long time. Yes, there's nostalgia. Yeah. They still make them. I remember seeing them in diners on the shelf. Nice. I remember these. The wax paper bag. They were fun as a kid. They were not kid-proof. Messy. And the servings were too small for a growing child. Also saw them at diners, but the cereal was always served in bowls. Ah, they're one of those dead-end product ideas, like the Play Once records that came in the back of cereal. Oh, that's right. They used to, print like vinyl on the back of a cereal box, like, grooved vinyl that you could literally cut out the back of the cereal box. And I'm not sure if you could punch the hole out. You probably had to, because it had to be like registered in the center. Punch the hole out. So you could put a song on a cereal box, and somebody could like cut it up the back of the box and put it on their record player. And even if you didn't cut it into a perfect circle, it would still fit, because it's probably the size of a 45 single. For all of you who know what that is. But yeah, that's right. They would do cereal, but it's printed on the back of the box, so it can rub. So maybe that wasn't very effective. And I think they did do the vinyl, like they did do singles on like a thin sheet of vinyl, like stapled into music magazines, and maybe sometimes like stuck into cereal boxes. But those weird disposable records, yeah. Wow, yeah. I think a lot of people reading my my cartoon are even older than I am. Wow. All right. Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Let's try a random one. Oh, I need some more coffee or something. Whoa, look at that. Hangers. The wooden hanger felt felt she could never compete with her wiry. Oh, is that the way you spell? Yeah, I think that's how you spell wiry. Wiry contemporaries. Oh, that's a lost in the upload. 2014. Breakfast is the most unfortunate meal of the day. Oh, here we go. Looks most unappetizing. That's what I like. That's what you get with Nibblers. I haven't had a Pop-Tart since I went on a diet in November. It's not a healthy breakfast food at all. 200 calories for one. Most people eat 2 because that's how they're wrapped. And lots of sugar. Very little nutrition. I'm not getting this for some reason. Please explain. Yeah, that should just be a standard comment in all of my comment sections. I'm not getting this for some reason. The most unfortunate meal of the day. All right. Okay, one more. They uncomfortably discussed who was used when and for what. Wow. Lots of comments. As a kitchen towel said to the Kleenex. I don't think those are kitchen towels, although I could be wrong from the wording. I think it's toilet paper. Yeah, I guess it's a little one. I bet you have to kiss butt on your job. You got it right on the nose. Oh, wow, 7 years ago. All right. Well, let's see here. Yeah, let's just do the switch screens a little bit. Yeah, because all I've got left to do is writing. So here's a little find from the convenience store. If if anybody is still around, yeah, I guess I'll just leave this as the background. Maybe a new random one. All right, so maybe I should make myself bigger. Where am I? So you can see what I'm actually holding here. So this will be unpleasant. Whoa. Okay, yeah, so now if I hold something up, you can see it, and I guess I can be more in the middle, I guess. All right, so here is an interesting thing that I found. Actually, my daughter found these, and so this is, I don't know if you can read the box. So patisserie is is one of the favorite French words of Japan. So anything that's like, a French pastry shop idea, I guess they like to put that on there. So wait, here's maybe for the side. So this is a chocolate brownie version. So you can see the chocolate brownie here. This is a chocolate brownie version of those little Chinese fried noodles, which I guess, yeah, here you can see from the side of the, that's what a close-up of the noodles look like. So those are they're Baby Star. So I think I had these before. They're little fried ramen noodles like you get in the Chinese chicken salads and stuff. It's a little fried ramen noodles, and they had that little Chinese boy character before that they got rid of and replaced with this little guy. I don't know what he's supposed to be, but so this is a version of those fried. I'm hiding behind the box. This is a version of the fried noodle snack. I'm trying to stay close to the microphone. The fried noodle snack, but it's a chocolate brownie version. So it is both a fried ramen noodle, but it's chocolate. And so we're going to see how that goes, how that works out. Yeah, so chocolate brownie flavored fried Chinese noodle. And so, of course, it's Japan, so it's individual packages. So yeah, pretty much the same thing on the front. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so we'll see how these are. Oh, so Hokkaido, that's right. So they're saying everything that has like a regional thing. So I guess because it's yeah, it's a flavor. Yeah, I guess they do like chocolate potato, because potatoes, they grow potatoes in Hokkaido. So that's a Hokkaido version of these noodles. So blame that region for putting chocolate on potato sticks. Wow. Yeah. So they're actually thicker ones. They're actually much thicker. I don't know if you can see. Ooh, that camera! Look at that camcorder lens. It's a full lens on there, so you can really see those little snacks. But these are, oh, it's both. It's both a fried noodle flavor. At first it's not very chocolatey, and then it's like kind of more chocolate at the end. So it's not, they're not coated. It's actually, it's actually in there. Yeah, it's actually in there. It's not like a coating, but you're getting both flavors at the same time. Wow. Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, so you're getting, it's both flavors. That's really weird. Yeah, because you can see that's just so they fried chocolate noodles. They made like chocolate noodles and then fried them, because the flavors aren't separate, but it's that weird oily flavor of the fried ramen. But it's not strong. I mean, they don't, like, if you think chocolate brownie, it's not anywhere near close to a chocolate brownie flavor. But the noodle flavor is really dominant. Yeah, it's very odd. So the Baby Star by themselves are nice snacks because they're not too salty. Now this is weird. So they do some strange combinations, because the flavor of the noodle by itself is almost savory because it's a little salty and it's, fried. And, like potato chips with chocolate on them sometimes work. But this is not the right flavor combination. And they're not salty. Sorry, my lips smacking into the microphone. They're not salty. It's weird. It's like halfway between a dessert kind of thing, and then just the regular kind of noodle snack. That's weird, but I love this box. Look at the look at that weird close-up of that noodle texture on the outside. Why did they think that would be like a selling point? That's really funny. Wow. So hopefully these are limited edition and aren't going to be always in the stores. Yeah, so 6 snack size bags. Wow. Yeah, so it's odd. That's a really odd thing. You'll see those kind of combinations where they're trying to come up with something. And another thing, so speaking of like kind of savory and sweet and like weird combinations of that, they have, so in Japan you can go to like a cafe that will have there'll be pancakes. They'll sell like very small, maybe 2 at a time, 2 or 3 at a time. Pancakes. It's not a breakfast restaurant, it's just a cafe, but they sell like maybe ice cream and pancakes. And one of the things that they will do here is they'll have a pancake batter that has sugar in it that's, you know, kind of sweetened, and that's with fruit and whipped cream and stuff. And then they'll have a little more savory version of pancake batter, so maybe more salt or less sugar in it. And on top of that, they'll put like beef stew or, you know, kind of beef gravy or savory type thing. So I guess the same way that like crepe shops will have fruit, and then they'll have like a savory, you know, something, some sort of I'm trying to think, like, what can you put in a crepe that's savory? I can't remember, like a cheese and chicken or something, something that is not, you know, not meant to be so much of a dessert, more of like a lunch type snack. But maybe it's more of that thinking. But that was really surprising. The first time I saw pancakes with beef stew, kind of beef gravy and chunky roast beef on it, was very bizarre. But that's a thing. So this might be part of that aesthetic, is trying to find a balance between like a sweet and savory, because it's like weirdly right in the middle. It's not quite sweet, not very chocolatey, but not savory. Like you could not put those on a salad or something. They taste too bizarre, but not sweet enough that but you probably wouldn't put them on like ice cream either. Like you probably wouldn't use them as a topping for a sundae either. But that is the brownie flavor patisserie baby star. So maybe they're doing a gourmet line. I don't know what other flavors you could possibly do. Wow. All right, so let's get to the writing portion. So thank you for enduring that close-up. Yeah, still I guess I figured out if I get my green screen a little bit closer to me, I lose some of that mess. So I need to put it more, because maybe there's a shadow because of the little sofa. Hey. Okay, so let's do some writing here. Put the keyboard actually not on my lap. Wow. Yeah, really strange. Brownie flavored baby star. Oh, so maybe this will be another thing I can send to K5. So I'll make a little collection of the snacks that have been on the stream, and then when I send him his murder hornet, he can have a whole selection, because I think all the snacks are good for until 2021. All right. So stomach medicine, yes. So, of course. Sorry. Whoa. The first thing I was thinking is, yeah, over the counter or hard on the stomach or something, because of if the pink stuff is there, then it kind of suggests stomach. If it was the times or the Okay, so none of them knew why current this is so like generic. Times were so hard. Oh, sorry, I hope that typing isn't too, I just realized it's like right under the microphone. Just stomach, yeah. Hard to stomach is the cliche, but hard on the stomach. something was so. Hey, Joe. Yes, hangover. Yeah, that's right. Hangover medicine. Oh, you don't drink? Oh, that's funny. Is that a it's a religious thing or a health thing or a recovery thing? Because I know there's some I've had known some people that had really hard times with alcohol and drugs like really early on in life, and then they just quit. Like so 25 or whatever they were done and were in AA or whatever, and off of everything. But and some people just don't like the taste of alcohol. That's a difficult thing here. So because drinking is like such a required like business transaction. So playing golf and drinking is something you have to do to be in business here. And so people that don't like the taste of alcohol or can't get sick easily have a difficult time with that because they're always ask do you have any soft drinks or changing the trying to change the menu. But yeah. Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Very excellent. Yeah, that is awesome. And it depends too on like your social groups and stuff. Like like if you didn't have to do it for business here, I think a lot of people there wouldn't be a lot of people drinking because and I think it's maybe like they say that about the US too, that 80% or 90% of alcohol is bought by like 3% of the customers. So like the amount of people that actually consume like are the best customers for alcohol companies are pretty small. And I think that's true in Japan too. All right. Let's see. Something about stomach trouble. Go beyond current. No, something. That's cool. That's very cool. I admire that, Joe. That's very cool. Oh, yeah. I always I never smoked, but I always hung around smokers, and usually because either there's like two reasons: either the smokers were the most interesting people, or like at art school or whatever, a lot of smokers. So they were either the most interesting people, or like especially when you start an office job, people that smoked got to take a break. Got to take a 15-minute break every 2 hours or whatever whatever was agreed to at the company. So you would just go out with the smokers because you were just going to sit there and not get out of your chair. You're just going to sit there and do nothing. Because if you had a question or had to do anything, they were working with somebody. If they took a cigarette break, everything just stopped. So I just hung out with smokers just because it was enforced break time. So it'd be like over the course of a day, it'd be like an hour of break you didn't get if you weren't a smoker. So that was funny. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so something about upset stomach. Yeah, maybe the current upset. Yeah, so I think you need to say those together for them to make any sense. The upset, yeah. The problem went far beyond upset stomach. Nah, that's too vague. Oh, wow. Nice, nice. Oh, yeah. Tequila. Oof. Oh, yeah, that's one of the few things I've gotten way too much of. Let's see. Yeah, it's the only thing I've gotten like really sick off of. So always it has to be like cheap tequila is always the smell of it is always like, oh, I remember that night. So expensive tequila is okay. Okay, let's see. So something upset stomach or So yeah, I just wanted to make some joke about the scale of a problem, like going beyond the stomach, but in a funnier way. Um, hmm. The real problem, okay. That's not going anywhere. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is even worse. Even harder to get across. Wow. Let's see. So the wireless couldn't wait to connect. Boy, I'm really off today. Yeah, maybe felt connected to the boxes. Already felt. Yeah, so they didn't have to open them because it was already. Already felt very connected. To the boxes. Okay, wait a minute. Was happy. Oh, okay. Just feeling connected to the boxes. Ugh. Wireless mouse was happy just feeling connected to the boxes. I'm kind of missing it. Oh, nice. Yeah, bonfires. Oh, yeah, bonfires on the beach. That's excellent. Yeah, that's something that everybody should have a chance. I think I was only. I mean, it was a beach, but it was like a lake beach, not like ocean beach. But yeah, the only bonfires on the beach were always the Great Lakes, but never ocean. But yeah, that's the best. Yeah, I don't know why that is, but like being on the beach at night with a fire is so excellent. I guess because that the cool air from the water and the fire, that's pretty cool. Damn. Oh, inner. Oh. Yeah, right. Mom, dad. Yeah. What? Yeah, I'm trying to think. I thought the idea of, you know, the the boxes being fine, but they're closed, so there's probably still something in there. It looks like something's still in there. So let's see. So something about didn't need the boxes open. Unopened boxes. Let's see. Was happy with just was happy with just, let's see, just the, but the wireless mouse was happy with just the unopened boxes. Felt connected. If I do use happy, I could use that weird little mouth, that weird little line as a mouth. With just connecting, this is a little longer, but into the unopened boxes. The wireless mouse was just happy with just connecting to the unopened boxes. So I don't know. I should probably find those eyes and put them here. Oh, this might look too silly. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, that's a weird little... I haven't done a mouth. Not off the edge. Yeah, this table is making this mouse move really weird. Sure, that looks bizarre. Yeah, the wireless mouse was happy with just connecting to the unopened boxes. Yeah, sure. That's sad and weird. Are you my parents? All right. And the upset went beyond stomach. The problems and upset were more than stomach related. I don't. Yeah, just don't talk about the scale or the wrong. The upset stomach was just a symptom of a larger upset, of a larger problem. Upset stomach. So upset. Let's see, was the was the stomach... Oh, I've got that all the way up. All right, so it's just the treatment, just the cure or the treatment for some were beyond upset. Some stomachs, I guess I have to be plural. Some stomachs were just, I'm using just again, just beyond upset. Or maybe far beyond. So, but these days, some stomachs were far beyond upset. These days, some stomachs were far beyond upset. Is that, yeah, that looks right, spelling-wise. Were too far. These days, some stomachs... Maybe I don't need these days. We're Unreasonable. We're too unreasonable to be called upset. Some stomachs were too unreasonable Some stomachs were too unreasonable to be called upset. To be considered upset. Unreasonable stomach. I should take a look. Yeah, sometimes I'm missing. I've noticed that when I have the big zoomed in version on the comments, that I miss some shadow spots because I'm working so small sometimes. Medicine after Taco Bell, right. Yeah, they call it they call this dessert. Oh, to even be called upset. Just making this slightly longer. Whoa. Some stomachs were too unreasonable to even be called upset. Not even. We're too unreasonable to be called upset. Unreasonable stomach. Yeah, that's close, like the changing the scale or something. Taco Bell. Yeah. Oh, I think I've already talked about. So Taco Bell did come to Japan. Previously, it was only on the army bases in Okinawa, like the only place in Japan you could get Taco Bell. But yeah, recently it came here, and it's really, really small menu, and they serve French fries and nacho chips. So you have to choose between fries and chips. But British people that go to Taco Bell call fries chips, and chips are crisps. Or they could be called nacho chips, I guess. So they have no idea what you're talking about. Like the English doesn't make any sense on the Taco Bell menu. But it's a weird limited menu. It's really expensive, and the first time I went there, it took 30 minutes to get food. So very odd. Yeah, it's a very strange version. So I don't know what they're doing different. I'm sure there's just some things that they can't carry or are harder to adapt, or maybe they're just deciding it based on like Japanese menu. Although most Mexican restaurants in Japan have a pretty wide menu. They have pretty much everything you could find outside of Japan. So I don't know. Some stomachs were too unreasonable to be called upset. Or were so upset they should be called unreasonable. Is that the right way? Some stomachs were too unreasonable to be called upset. Were so upset they were. Yeah, I don't want to go. Yes. Or would more extreme be better? They're so upset they were inconsolable, or what? Yeah, what's that? Like unsavable. What's that expression? To redeemable, unredeemable stomach. We're so upset they would. We're too unreasonable to be called upset. too. Is there something that's upset if you're saying we're too dramatic, we're too or exhibitionist? No, yeah, that doesn't work for. The invisible drink doesn't work for the. Whoa, nice. Oh, interesting. Yeah, seasoned fries. Yeah, yeah. These are the same. They've got like a taco spice, like a like the uh, like Mexican spice flavor, like something similar to yeah, just kind of the seasoning for meat and tacos on the fries. Yeah, so they do French fries, and the fries at the Japanese Taco Bell aren't very good though. I think they make them in small batches, and they just kind of like put them on top of. So they do it like cilantro or parsley. So you have a burrito or something, and they just put fries on top of it. Just like throw a handful of fries or chips on top of the plate. Yeah. So I don't know what the idea is there, but yeah, yeah, it's funny. And that's the funny thing is a lot of the so Mexican restaurants are somewhat popular in Japan, but really popular for foreigners. So you'll see a lot of foreigners in, I guess, because it's like more familiar comfort food. Like if you don't want Japanese, that's like a familiar, comforting food that you probably have had, in other countries or your home country more. Some stomachs were too unreasonable to be called upset. Okay, I guess that word order works okay. I don't need to make it any bigger in scale. Oh, good, good, good. Okay, and while we're at it, the wireless mouse was just happy. Was happy with just was happy with just connecting to the unopened boxes. All right, these are some weird ones. Oh, I spelled connecting with 3 N's, with 4 N's. Nice. Oh, one thing I wanted to ask ask the chat. Oh, sweet. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's some good Mexican restaurants in Japan, and there's some bad ones. I guess it's kind of hard to get good supplies for fresh. Like the tortillas are becoming more common, but some of the spices and things are off. You they could get a lot of avocado and yeah, there's just some things that are off. Some of the spices and things are a little bit off, or maybe they changed their recipes a little bit for a more mild kind of Japanese palate. But yeah, yeah, we've been to a few pretty good Mexican restaurants, but not amazing. And after living in Los Angeles, like yeah, I had some really good Mexican food, and even like the tiny little taquerias are so awesome there that it's hard to yeah, hard to compare. But there's more and more Latin American like residents, like resident aliens, or like me, like green card residents in Japan. That's not a green card in Japan, but residents in Japan. So I think the food is going to get better and better. Hopefully, as more restaurants open and things. I think a lot of the Latin American food is going to get better here because they'll have connections to their home countries and stuff, and they can get better ingredients. But yeah, sometimes though, some of the when I was first here, the one place we went to had really terrible tortillas. They were really spongy and strange. I don't know what they were made from. They tasted like they had some like potato starch or something in them. Something really bizarre. Um, but yeah, yeah, and more in the import grocery stores here. They have more diverse like hot sauces and things. So I think it's starting to open up a little bit more. But yeah, there's some good stuff, and Japanese people love Spanish language, and they love Latin America because they feel more confident. I think I talked about that before, but feel more confident speaking Spanish than speaking English. So if they study Spanish at all, their accent is pretty good, and they feel more confident speaking. Where speaking English, their accent is all wrong, and there's because the number of sounds in Spanish and Japanese are more equivalent, and a lot of the vowel sounds are more equivalent, so they feel less shy about speaking Spanish. because that there's no accent problem. Pronunciation is pretty good. So it's just it's the same thing though with grammar, and then the gendered nouns and stuff is a new idea. Oh, but yeah. So we'll see. My wife studied Spanish, and she lived in Mexico and Spain for a little while, like doing university. So she likes, she loves, yeah, good Mexican. She's had amazing Mexican food, so she's pretty good at finding good places to eat and avoiding the suspiciously suspiciously too Asian Mexican restaurants. All right, I think that works for both of these guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think the population grows in Japan, it'll help a lot, because yeah, there's nothing. I mean, they should have most of the ingredients. I don't know why some of the Mexican restaurants are just off. And maybe it's just like the cooking style or something, like how the oil they're using, or how they're cooking certain things, or I guess like frijoles. There's not a lot of good um, refried beans I haven't had, because maybe they're not using the right beans or something, or they're doing something wrong with them. So the beans aren't great, and sometimes the tortillas are terrible, and then sometimes the seasoning is just off. But yeah, but there are a couple of good places, and it's just full of foreigners. Yeah, so I don't know quite what it is. It seems like it would be a pretty compatible cuisine. Like it seems like it would work pretty well, because Indian is popular here, and there shouldn't really be anything that yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is, but yeah, it's decent. Right. uh yeah, I think Japanese people mostly hate English just because there's so many weird sounds and so many weird blended sounds that they have no idea. And sometimes they can't even hear the sound, like some of the sounds that don't exist in Japanese. When they hear somebody speaking English, they're like, what is that? What are you even doing with your mouth to do that, to make that sound? It's very, mysterious. In a lot of cases. So yeah, and so when they try to, because once you're not a kid anymore, like when you're like under 3 years old, or I guess it's like officially like under 8 years old, you can imitate a sound like so perfectly, or like a perfect mimic, for just listening to what someone's saying and then figuring out how to make that sound with your mouth. And the older you get, like the more you lose that. Or, most people lose that ability. Some people stay good mimics like their whole lives, like people that do good impressions, that are good impressionists, and good singers, like people that have perfect pitch and stuff, are a little bit better. But yeah, it's I think it's a lot to do with all the uncomfortable sounds they have to try to make, that they aren't even like hearing correctly, so it's hard to copy. uh yeah. uh so things are still How are things going overall in California, Joe? I'm, yeah, worried my daughter is still in Los Angeles. I'm worried that yeah, things aren't gonna get better. California was one of the states that seemed to be having the most trouble with the bad weather. Oh, and now fires too. That's right. Now it's fire season. It's dry fire season again. Yeah, I hope things are getting normal in California. That really sucks, because yeah, that my so she just graduated university, and now is just at home all the time. So that has to be a very frustrating 4 years to not be doing anything then after. I mean, she's doing a lot of work at home, but I don't know if any of it's professional. I don't know if she's doing any commissions or anything. Ah, yeah, smoky. Ugh, that sucks. Yeah, that really sucks this season. Yeah, I remember that one. I was working in the valley in like a little office building, and there were fires that came right to the edge. I don't know which like mountains that was on or whatever, but right to one of the edges, and there was so much smoke, and you could see like the burning just over the edge, you could see like the light from the burning. So it looked like Mordor. It looked like something from a, Lord of the Rings movie. It was so creepy because the sky was all blackening, and then you could see like an eerie glow from fire. Yeah, that's just crazy. Mm. Yeah, that's not fun. And if they're having any budget problems, that means that they may not have the fire crews and everything they need to deal with it, because that's got to take a lot of work, because everything is so dry in the summertime in Southern California. Yeah, it's crazy. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't have much good information in sorry. Yeah, in Japan about California stuff. When they report stuff, they report very generally, like on the news, because it has to be, it has to make big national news in the U.S. before it comes over here. So smaller scale stuff, I always gotta bug my family on text and stuff. Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I guess because of the smoke is like particulates, and a lot, if enough of that goes in the air, if it's, there's something in the air for it to stick to, then it'll rain. That's weird. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, it's been really weird weather here. We've been getting like these like sudden, like a lightning storm that just like suddenly happens, like lightning is striking and then a total downpour, and less than 10 minutes it's completely gone. So yeah, really really fast, weird thunderstorms recently. And yeah, I don't know why, and they're very like localized, like they'll be in one part of the city and not another. And yeah, it's very strange. Oh yeah, so everybody's getting weird weather. Very unusual stuff. Yeah, that's got to be that just that light, like when there's enough smoke and the fires. Yeah, that weird light from sun coming through smoky smoky air. Ugh. Yeah, that's crazy. That really sucks too, to have a house on the edge of any of that stuff, because it must be, nice location and beautiful view and everything, but to have that risk of just like losing your house if the fire gets out of control, that's got to really suck. Because yeah, if the fire happens in the house, then it's a little bit more understandable. But when it travels across the mountains or the hills to get to you, that really sucks. Like, I guess it's kind of like having like volcanoes, like when they show the slow moving lava coming slowly towards your house, like in Hawaii. That must be crazy. Oh yeah, yeah, volcanoes. We just had an eruption. I can't remember what part of Japan that was in, but there was a volcanic eruption that just released gases. It just released some kind of like nasty gases, but and some smoke too. But yeah, there was like a weird volcanic disturbance recently in Japan. And yeah, it's been a while since I've ever. I mean, I don't think since I've been here I've heard anything like that. So that was the first time in a while. Because what was that one? Was it Iceland or something? Yeah, that was years, and that was like probably more than a decade ago. But there was like, yeah, some volcano somewhere where the smoke like canceled all the flights in Europe because it just trailed across. Ugh, crazy. Oh, that's good. Yeah, right. The smoke, the smoke makes people put their masks on at least. Yeah. Still trying to figure these out, because it's not like chocolate breakfast cereal. It's just chocolate noodles. That's so bizarre. I guess they do make that though. That's like chocolate pasta, right? So maybe that was their idea. But they're like dried and crunchy, but like yeah, because I've seen there's like chocolate pasta. So maybe they're trying to, it's that kind of combination, because you still taste the flour or whatever from the noodles just as much as the chocolate. So chocolate Chocolate Asian dried pasta. Yeah, it's really odd. Yeah, I can't believe we're still months away. I guess 3 months away, because we still got September. Oh no, it's the beginning of November. So yeah. Wow. Yeah. So we're almost. We don't have much of August left. So that means just September, October, and then the elections at the beginning of November. So 2 months left of. Hopefully, there'll be less nonsense after there's, well, or more. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going to be better or worse, because I think things are going to go even crazier, like as far as protests and things, if Trump is reelected. And if Trump's not reelected, I wonder if things are going to calm down at all. And then I wonder, like, the difference between how the feds are going to respond either way. I don't know. Just crazy. I wonder if there has ever been such an extended, because maybe, well, the Vietnam War was, over. So I guess there was always, the peace movement was always protesting over Vietnam. So there could have been, yeah, easily have been protests that went this long before. But this seems like a really, really unusual time of unrest. And there's just nothing to calm it down, because there's just incident after incident, shooting after shooting. There's just nothing that will never, ever be possible to, for things to stop. Yeah, I can do absentee at the embassy in Japan. So, yeah, it's crazy. But that's a mail-in ballot. Oh no, you got censored. Sorry, let me check. Did you say the T word or the... Where am I here? Oh, there we go. That's weird. I wonder why it's censored. Yeah, that's funny. It didn't like your spelling. Oh, that's funny. Wow. Yeah, so it's hard to know what we're in for. Just that video from the propaganda arm of the CCP showing the Happy Summer, music festival in the water park. It's amazing because that image says like two very different things from a propaganda point of view. It says, we're all fine here now. We're enjoying our summer. Too bad you guys haven't figured out how to deal with, the bad weather, and we're not wearing masks, and we're enjoying our youth. So a very positive image, like, oh, problem solved. The, CCP is amazing. They handled it so well. But at the same time, because it was from the origin of all the bad weather, the area, which people are still afraid to travel in, it's also saying to the rest of the world, this is where it came from. You still got it. Go fuck yourself. Ha ha ha. We don't care about how anybody is dealing with this, because we've dealt with it. Yeah. So it's like, it can be read as very, them trying to send a very positive message out, and hope, that looks, if the world was united and thinking together, they could say there's an end to this, because look, they're showing us the end of this horrible thing they created or they ran into, they happened upon. They're showing us the end of this, but it doesn't read like that in either way, in either a propaganda way, or I just don't think that's how anybody interprets that, as seeing like that's a light at the end of the tunnel. It either looks like a government that's bragging over the control they have over its people, or that, you still have this problem, and you don't, your summer didn't look anything like this, did it? So, yeah, very strange. I don't know. I don't know how to, and I just don't know why everybody loves to pick up everything that they're handing out. They have to want to rebroadcast all that good propaganda. It's crazy. I don't know. It's endless. Oh, it's dinner time. Oh my god! I wasn't watching the time. Oh, and I've been dropping frames. I don't know when that happened. Sorry. Did I have any stuttering? Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. The yeah, so the what's his name? Bannon was arrested, and so stupid. It's just like so amazing. I wouldn't be surprised, like, once we have distance, once we have distance from Trump, that we're gonna find out that, like, that everybody around him and everybody that he associated with was just like some wannabe gangster. Was just like, they had no idea what they were doing. They're just a fraud, and only trying to you know figure out a scam to run, because that's, I guess, if you're doing real estate, that's what you're doing anyhow. If you're doing or development, like in New York, that's all you're doing, is you're doing scams with the mafia. So yeah, I don't know but that's really ridiculous. The thing, like the one big thing that he ran on right before the election, people being arrested for it just being, used to defraud people. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's really, both sides though are so frustrating, because I don't have any faith in, just the same way that Trump's family is benefiting tremendously. I don't have any faith that Biden's crackhead son isn't going to be benefiting from this the same way. There's all these weird deals with Eastern Europe and China, but it was the same way. That was the thing that was most disgusting. I think it was when it was Trump was still running, but they were showing the his son-in-law doing that real estate development, like get favor, like uh, expedited status, or get some kind of favored status on a green card or on a visa in the U.S. if you invest. If you're a Chinese investor in like New Jersey real estate or something, yeah, he was like involved with pitching that. So this is all such a bunch of scam. Yeah, it's just everybody just getting in so that they have the access and the resources just to pull their scam. So it's endless. Yeah, but this is another one of those miserable choice years where I just wish the Democrats could have come up with somebody better. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know who that would have been from the primaries. Oh, it's brutal. Oh well, Joe, I will let you go, and see you again next week. Thanks so much for hanging out. It's so fun to catch up, and I love that you're in California. It gives me some insight into what's going on there. But yeah, definitely take it easy, and hope things go out. Hope things are extinguished soon. Yeah, that's got to be. I can't imagine, because there's so much childhood asthma and bad, respiratory stuff from living in Southern California, and then to have like that smoke like triggering your childhood asthma and stuff. That cannot be fun. Yeah, take care, Joe, and I will see you again. Yes, yeah. Thanks as always. It's so fun to hang out, and yeah. So I will be back next week. So anybody that's new to the stream, abusecartoons.com if you want to see more of the cartoon. You can follow on Twitter at abusecartoons, and then this stream is both on Twitch and YouTube. And You can read the archive of the cartoon that I draw during this stream at gocomics.com/domestic abuse. And all those links should be in the description if you want to. But yeah, take care, Joe, and take care, everybody. Yeah, it was good to see Sedona, Dolly, everybody, Hypnotic. Yeah, very cool to see people I haven't seen in a bit. Good to catch up. And yeah, so anybody that's new, thank you for watching. And I'll be back about the same time every week. And runs, yeah, usually until dinner time here. All right. Take care, Joe. Be safe. Bye-bye for now. And everyone, I will be back next week. Goodbye.